talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway.
Underway, the $1,000 gift card giveaway. Your chance to win a $1,000 gift card anywhere you want. Keyword is believe. That's right. The word is believe. B-E-L-I-E-V-E. There are 3 ways to play. Enter the keyword on the Fanatic app at 97.5thefanatic.com or text it to 45911. Once again, the keyword is believe. I believe. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway presented by American Standard HVAC Contractors. To find a dealer, visit AmericanStandardAir.com. One person selected at random will win. Get complete rules for this company-wide contest at 97.5thefanatic.com. Good luck.
It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Go Cuz. How you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter Monday to all across the Delaware Valley. It is, I hope everybody had a great Easter weekend, Easter Sunday yesterday after your Passover, a couple days before that. So hopefully everybody had a great holiday weekend. It was beautiful, it was warm, and then it got a little chilly on Saturday and Sunday, but it was still sunny yesterday, nice day. And hopefully everybody had a great family weekend and enjoyed yourself, relaxed a little bit, ate some ham. All right. Hopefully did all the good stuff. We did at my house. I did the meatballs. My wife made the ham and the gnocchi. And it was kids had their Easter baskets. So it was nice. It was a good day all day. And it would have been a great day if the Phillies were able to complete the sweep of the Reds. So it was that was tough. I mean, that was a really, really tough game because you completely get momentum back after the 1-5 start on the road, and you're feeling good. Everybody's home and everybody's watching the game, and we're all sitting there going, all right, man, that's the way to go. You respond, you take all 3 at home. And that would have been big. Sir Anthony gets bit. He had 2 walks. He gives up the bleeder. And then Fraley golfs the double. And next thing you know, the Reds go on the comeback win. And it's a shame because they had the series, man. And after Saturday, because it was almost like that baseball giveth, baseball taketh away. Saturday was amazing, right? Because Saturday, you come back and that kid Lodolo, who started for the Reds, is nasty. I mean, the Phillies hitters struck out 17 times in the game on Saturday. And here they are. It's 2-0. The Reds had chances. Actually, Falter pitched well. Bailey Falter pitched well. Kept him in the game. Kept him within striking distance. And then they get a rally, right? 9th inning. There's the rally. Castellanos walks. Bohm, who's just been swinging a great bat, gets a base hit. And then Marsh rips a single to make it 2-1. Sosa sack fly. And then Lestat comes in with rips a single to win the game. And it was awesome because, you expect the way that game was going, Lodolo was just dealing that you couldn't touch them. They go to the bullpen, and you rally for 3 in the 9th. And it felt like the playoffs, man. The crowd was wild. 44,000 people, everybody standing. It's a shame, especially after Friday, right? So Friday, you win with Wheeler. It's pretty easy, 5-2, right? You feel good. JT has a bomb. And then come back, win on Saturday. And then you're looking strong yesterday, and that was a tough loss. It's a shame. It's the nature of baseball. But when you have all those people watching and everybody excited, it would have been nice to get the sweep. Bohm had a great weekend, right? He had a couple big hits all over the weekend. Had the home run yesterday. Castellanos, 3 doubles over the weekend. That was big for Nick. I guess we call him Nicky Doubles because that was a big deal. And the other thing is Stott swinging a nice bat, man. Stott's is really, really. He had 2 more hits yesterday, so he's swinging like the kids are carrying him. Look, you know that offensively, the lineup's going to suffer, right? I mean, without the power bats of Reese and Hall, the lineup takes a huge hit when it comes to run production. So, it's a big deal losing those bats, and you need everybody to get on. Now, it gets tough tonight because we got the Marlins for 3, and you got Alcantara, who is just nasty. He's pitching for Florida. So you gotta go. You have to be able to beat him tonight. Alcantara tonight against Strom, who pitched well in his first start. So you got to be in the game. Now you got 3 with Miami, and then you come back with you're at Cincinnati for 4. So you play the Reds again before going to the White Sox, who are pretty good next week. So that's your Philly schedule. We'll get into the Phils and talk all about the Phils. Sixers. So the NBA is done. Regular season over, and this is what's going on. We got all kinds of things in the NBA. The play-in is here, all right? So this is your NBA schedule. Of course, Sixers close out a good season. Look, after the slow start, you wind up having a good season. You grab the 3 seed, and here it is, Sixers Brooklyn, Saturday, 1 o'clock. So we get game 1 of the playoffs will be Saturday at 1 o'clock at the Wells Fargo Center, and the playoffs will begin. Here's the schedule. So Tuesday, you have the play-in games, Miami, Atlanta, the Lakers, who I think are dangerous, and the T-Wolves. Wednesday, Toronto and the Bulls, and Pelicans and OKC. And so those are, you know how it works, the 7-8 seed, right? The loser plays the winner of the 9-10. So the loser gets another shot at it, and then they go on to play the first 2 seeds. In the East, it's Milwaukee and Boston. And then Sixers, the 3 seed, face Brooklyn in the series. And it's New York and Cleveland, the 4-5 in the other series. In out West, the Nuggets are the 1 seed. Memphis is the 2 seed. So interesting because I don't like either of those teams. 4-5 is Phoenix, who I think is your safest kind of play when you're looking at what the Suns are with Durant. They haven't lost. So Suns, Clippers, and Clippers are a team I thought were going to be better, and they haven't. So 4-5 Suns, Clippers, 3-6 Sacramento and Golden State, and that's your NBA playoffs, man. We're underway. Here it is. We got Sixer playoffs coming up at 1 o'clock. Thursday, we will be at McGillen's Old Ale House in Center City for a playoff roundtable. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have special guests. I know my boys, Bob Cooney's going to be there, Devon, Tyrone, and we're going to bat out all the Sixers playoffs and take a look at it from every which way as we kick off we're going to have giveaways and all kinds of stuff. Thursday at McGillen's, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to talk about the playoffs today. Then yesterday, the Flyers, oh God, just an ugly, ugly game. The Bruins, and this is what depresses me about the Flyers. And look, you got 2 games left, yesterday the Bruins sat 6 of their regulars because they're having a historic season. They sit 6 guys. They did not sit Pasternak. So Pasternak goes off, hat trick, 60 goals for the Pasta Man. 60 goals after yesterday's hat trick. It was ugly. Bruins takeover in the building, chanting, "We want the cup." I'm going to play that audio for you. It's just pathetic what the Flyers have become. It's sad. It just is. And worse is there's just no direction with this team. None whatsoever. And I know they changed the top, but, it's the same old, same old. We got to discuss it. In fact, I want to do a town hall, Flyers town hall, and I want to give you some details on that. That's going to happen tomorrow because we need to really enact change. That was embarrassment yesterday. The Bruins sit 6 guys. Pasta scores a hat trick. You go down. The Bruins set a record for wins in a season, an NHL record, and you look at that team and it's just stacked. Now they're a ridiculous team. Flyers don't even have a legitimate first line player. Like, think about legitimate first line players that you could build on. Some young player that has got top line potential. I don't see any. So we got to talk about this for a little bit. This is very distressing. What's going on with the Flyers? So we got lots to do. The Masters with Rahm comeback. That was interesting. Great sports weekend. But NBA playoffs, Phillies, what to do with the Flyers. It's a good sports day today that I want to get into. So it's just you and I. Tunis is off. My man Ray is with me. To get a hold of us, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975 is how you reach us. Playoffs, man. I can't believe it. Wow. All right. Lots to get to today. It's going to be a busy one, so get in early and often. Let's talk a little bit about the BetParx app. Yes, the BetParx app has you covered for the NBA playoffs. Yeah.
Anthony Gargano Show. Now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Don't damn.
All right, welcome back. Cuz Radio. Tune us off today. My man Ray is in. Good morning, Ray. How you feeling?
Good morning, Anthony. I'm feeling good. How you doing?
You have a good day yesterday?
I did. Got to celebrate my grandmother's 83rd birthday. Nice time with the family. Nice Easter Sunday. So I'm feeling good today.
What'd you do? What was on the menu?
What was on the menu? Ooh, we had a lot. We had the ham, of course. Good ham. We did a brunch, so there was also French toast. We did the sausage
Easter
balls.
brunch is always like a big deal. Like that's always that's a popular item.
That's an A1 type of meal right
You're
there.
like the brunch. You're a brunchman.
Massive brunchman. Love brunch.
You know, I get it. I like brunch. To me, brunch greater than breakfast.
Yes,
because you have the meats.
it's a combination of all the good things. Really, you take all the best from what you like with meals, and you can kind of put it into brunch. I feel like it's a wide umbrella.
Yes, you're right. I agree with you. So you had the French toast,
the ham. We had sausage balls. We had the pizza rustica, which is good. I'm trying to think what else.
Rustica.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're moving. We got a quiche in there. I think we were eating. I got to be honest. It was a nice.
Quiche. She had the quiche too.
It was a nice spread.
I don't do the quiche.
You don't do the quiche?
Nah.
I do like a small piece. I feel like it's one of those things where I like it in short appetites. You know, I don't need a lot of it. I just need a little play of it. It's like a role player off the bench for me. You know.
You know what it
just
is?
Quick couple minutes.
Yeah. I the egg is.
That's it.
It's the egg. It dissuades me from all things, and with the quiche.
All right. Well, to each his own on that one. I'll have a little quiche. Again, I'm not taking down the entire plate there. Someone else. That's for someone else to do.
And so you did the the ham. The ham's always big. It's always a popular item.
Absolutely.
The honey baked.
Little honey on top. Oh yeah, you got a little glaze. Yeah, yeah. You got it.
So I did so they did that. We didn't have the brunch. It was a little later. We did the 3 o'clock, like 3 to 4 dinner. So we did the ham. I did the meatballs and the gnocchi.
Oh, gnocchi's top tier.
Yeah, when you get the good gnocchi.
Oh yeah.
We've been making our own, but we did the P&S this time.
Ooh,
and then
so good.
We had it's good with the locatelli cheese on top. It was nice. Kids loved it.
You're making me hungry back here.
Yes. 2-3 wines, and it was nice.
Very nice.
It was a good day. And a good sports day, except for the Phillies, man. That's the shame of it. The shame is it looked like a sweep, Ray.
It did. I was ready. I was all prepared for us to be firing up. Oh, everyone was worried. I feel great. Sweep. You got the Marlins coming into town. Then you got the Reds again. Let's put a little early season run together here. And then the ninth inning happened.
Dude, I know. Listen, it's baseball, right? So baseball, that's exactly what baseball is about. Is Saturday and Sunday. Oh. You strike out 17 times in a game, right? 17 times. You can't touch the Red starter, Lodolo, and you come back and you win the game. It was amazing. And then yesterday you're cruising and walk, bleeder, and a golf double, and you turn around, you lose the game.
Yeah, it's like the tale of two teams. You had the team on Saturday that was the young guns find a way to win a game for you, much like you feel like some of the good feelings of last year. And then the game on Sunday was reminiscent of some of the teams that we've hated over the years. It's been like, how do you veterans make so many dumb mistakes out there on the base paths? And then obviously the pitchers just throw strikes for us, please. 9 walks? 9 walks.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right. It's early.
Well, it is. I mean, listen, the one thing, if we're going to talk about concerns, I mean, obviously the concern is you're going to have enough pop because of the injuries. I mean, losing Reese, you're still waiting on Bryce, and then you lose Hall. So that's the lineup all of a sudden, turns thin. Good thing is that Castellanos had a good weekend. He looked good at the plate.
He's been very patient, which has been very nice.
That's it. That's
He's not
huge
flailing.
for Nick, man. It's huge because he's an emotional dude, so you know that he cares, right? And the thing with him is he's got to relax, be patient, and I thought he looked real good.
Yeah,
he looked much better, and if he could just look, I'll take doubles all day long, man. They'll go out, right? But I just need some production, and he gave you some production.
it's also really nice to see. Obviously, you had the conversation with him down at spring training. When you talk about being patient, it's one thing to be patient at a Grapefruit League game where you know, hey, listen, I can kind of see some of these pitchers and see the pitching. To put that into practice at the regular season and actually go about doing that in the big moments, like you said, emotional guy, and moments where it actually means something, it counts for something. It's nice to see him carry over some of the growth that we were excited about in spring training and look more together at the plate than I think we ever saw him in really the second part of last season, but most of last season.
You know what I loved? I loved the energy in the ballpark.
Yes.
Like, there was great energy over the weekend.
Great energy around the city with this team right now. A lot of people that just kind of have found this team from the end of last season and want to carry it over for an entire summer and let the good times keep rolling.
Yes. I mean, that's a key, right? Because you want to make sure that place is hopping. There's energy, because the energy it will infuse life into this team.
Oh, big time. Big time. And you got people, again, like I just said, like one of my buddies is in town. He hasn't been around a couple of years. He's been away, not a big baseball fan. The one thing he asked me to do, hey, man, we go down to the ballpark, watch the Phillies. Like,
really?
What? You?
That's cool,
All
man.
right, let's do it.
See, I love that. I love the newbies, man.
It's great. I
love the newbies. I want newbies abound, right? Because the more people, and I always thought this, the more people, it just provides a certain injection, and especially in baseball, where there's life in a ballpark, it helps on the field, especially when you're good. Now, you got a tough series because you got Alcantara tonight, who's the Marlins ace, and then Luzardo, who's pitching well. He looks real good. He's got great stuff. So you got him tomorrow. So you just want to take 2 or 3, and then you got Cincinnati for 4, and they're just way better than Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's not a good club. So that's kind of where you're at, the Phillies. Sixers, we got it. Playoffs start 1 o'clock on Saturday. I'm sitting here, I'm going, what happens? Like, it's it. Season's over. Playoffs start. They're going to beat Brooklyn. Well, what happens, man? It's all about Boston, and I'm already starting to get nervous.
I've been nervous now for a couple of days. I was there for the last Celtics game of the season. From when I was walking out of Wells Fargo Center, I was like, "Oh, next time I watch them against the Celtics, it's going to be something different. I'm going to be a wreck watching that game."
Yeah, I know. I love this idea of playoffs, and this time of the year is a great time of the year because we have every sport in play. We're the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs for non-flyers, and then the draft. But man, this NBA, this is another story, another run for this team, another run, man. What's the threshold here? Can they beat Boston? I gotta believe they can. I have to. I can't go into the playoffs with a bad attitude. Now, I know the matchups. I know it's tough, and I keep going back to Maxey. Maxey's the key to everything in this Boston series.
1,000%.
My man Eddie Wright hit me up on Instagram. He was like, "Dude, I feel a Maxey come to life against Boston, and he has to." I read you on Friday. I read his stats against Boston and what he's done, and he played 7 games the last 2 seasons, and they have not been pretty. Only twice has he scored in the 20s, really in double digits, and both times they were in the 20s. All the rest single digits, and in one game, Marcus Smart didn't even play. So we got to have Tyrese. He has to be that scorer, especially knowing that, Embiid's going to get his, and Harden's got to, play point guard, and Harden has to direct this offense. But, man, oh, man, Tyrese has to score. They need him. Boston's a good defensive team. Their guards can D up. They got to have Maxey. He's the key to everything, Ray.
Oh, yeah. And you need him running, too. You need them running. I know Devon said, I was with Devon following that Celtics game one of the nights following it, and he's talking about, hey, look at the transition points. They did not score in transition against Boston in the game. They won. Yeah. And you have to be able to get Maxey out running to get those easy buckets because he's your speed. You want to talk about the pace of this team? This is not a team that moves fast. If you're going to move fast to get an easy bucket, it's going to have to be Maxey moving down the floor quickly, and then he's got to be ready to hit those in-rhythm threes. The ball gets swung around to him. If he's out there on the perimeter open, he's got to be in the mind space where I'm going to knock this down. I'm going to get this bucket right here. And that just it hasn't seemed like it's been him against the Celtics when they've played them over the last 2 seasons.
So, and I'm curious. I'm curious how everybody feels about it. We're going to have our playoff roundtable Thursday. One of the great bars in the city, and the oldest bar in the city, McGillen's.
Love it there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we're pumped up. I'm real excited for this. So we're going to have Bobby C's going to be there, and Devon and Tyrone. So we'll have guests. We'll have all kinds of giveaways. I mean, you name it. But I'm curious how we're going to attack. How do we feel going into this year's playoffs? And what kind of optimism do we have going in? It's weird because the season was a good season. When you think about it, it was a slow start, and they played well. They had a great stretch. The only real down was a couple of games against Boston. But other than that, they had a good regular season. Joel was the MVP. Harden kept his legs, been in great shape. He kept his legs. It was a good season. And the question is, are they deep enough, to me, in the backcourt, basically to beat Boston? Because, listen, if they can beat Boston in the second round, they have a real chance because they match up so much better against Milwaukee. Not to say that Milwaukee's tough. Obviously, they're 1 seed. But they match up against Milwaukee. So, and if you beat Boston, you're all of a sudden you feel great about yourself. They're on a roll. I could see them rolling to the finals if they can get through this matchup. Oof.
Boston feels like your finals.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the second round. It's the second round mountain. We've been talking about scaling this mountain for 5 years, dude. Think about this. Think about the playoffs of the last 5 years. I'm going to run through them. And this is it. This is another second round. It's a mountain. They got to scale.
And it feels like that pivotal moment where this is the moment where the seesaw tips one way or the other. Where the organization either takes the leap or you start to have the questions this offseason. Doc, Harden, what happens next? If you don't get past that second round.
Yep. No, this is a huge playoff for them. It really is. Let's go to D. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Good morning, D.
What's up, cuz? This is your homie from Instagram, Boss Hardwood Floors.
Yo, what's up, buddy? My man.
I'm good. Last week, I think you called a few of us keyboard warriors, so I had to call in, man. I ain't like that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't referencing you, though.
I know. But it's cool. But with the Sixers, I want to see Tobias and Maxey and Melton get going against Brooklyn. I don't want to see Harden and Embiid have to put us on their shoulders to beat Brooklyn. I want to see them contribute.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Man.
Because we know it's all about Boston.
It is.
The rest of you guys, come on, pick it up and help us get through that.
It is all about Boston, and it is, and they're going to need. And this is why I keep bringing up Maxey. I don't know if you heard the other day, brother. I gave Maxey stats and against Boston, and it's clear. I mean, you see it. We all knew that he struggles against Boston, But when you see the numbers are just frightening, and it has to do with a couple things. One, they D up on the perimeter, and two, he's got to feel comfortable in his role. I would like to see him get early shots.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, would you as Doc run it so that Maxey gets going early against Boston?
Yeah, I think that's you're in my mind. That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think you need to get him up. First of all, you know that no one can stop Embiid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have nobody to match up with Embiid. The two guys who are most vital are obviously Maxey and Harden, because Harden's going to run everything, and you need him to space the floor with threes. Yep. And then I would look to Maxey, and I would look to Tobias, try to get some early points in production out of Tobias, because you know that Joel is going to get his.
And to me, that'll disrupt Boston's whole game plan, because their whole game plan is double Embiid, and we're going to man up on the outside. That's it.
Yeah. Brother, I feel it. So what's your gut tell you? You have a good feeling or what?
I'm a fanboy, so my gut wants Sixers 4-2 against Boston.
I got you. I feel you, man. I want that too. I don't. Yeah. I honestly have no vibe.
No,
I don't know. I just don't know. I'm obviously hopeful, but I don't know.
I feel like the Sixers' worst enemy is themselves.
Well, I do think I think the Boston thing's legitimate. I just worry about that matchup. Honestly.
Yeah, because they got the wings. I feel it, but when you have the best player on the court and it gets to the fourth quarter, and even if you're even in the fourth quarter, but you have the best player on the court, you can win.
Yeah. I know. Listen, I got you. Joel, man, MVP. That's it, brother. Good stuff.
Yeah, one more thing. I went to Giuseppe's because I saw your picture. I took my lady down there, and I had the best Bronzino I ever had.
Oh, my man. That's awesome.
Delicious.
Oh, that's fantastic. Nice date night, huh?
Oh, yeah. We do it every other weekend. Grandma takes the kids.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Thank God for grandma.
Thank God for grandma.
Brother, always great. I love conversing with you. You're a great fan. Thanks, my brother. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your day.
You too, baby. You too. All right. So when you look at those 5 years, I'm going to hit you with the first year in the playoffs, 17-18. Now, if we remember that year, that was Miami, and it was Simmons, remember?
Oh, yeah.
They have a great series against Miami. They take Miami out in 5. They look really good. And then Boston. And the shame is they were in every game. They lose to Boston in 5. The first game's a blowout, but the second game they're in looks like they're going to win. And they at the end, it doesn't work. And then we got the overtime. Oh, my God. I remember that game.
Oh, yeah.
That Saturday.
The confetti.
Oh, dude. That was such a brutal loss.
Bellinelli.
Yes.
Thought he had it.
We thought it was in.
Turns, fires.
Oh, my God.
It's a 2.
Oh, my God. That was my Anthony. We had a communion party for Anthony.
Oh.
And we were all in the house around the TV watching the game.
I was at a grad party, and it was the same thing. We're all around. We're all dancing around. I saw the confetti go off. You see the confetti on TV, you just assume it happened.
I know.
And it's like, wait, everyone come back around the TV. We've got to gear up for overtime.
I know. And then they come back and they win. And the shame is they were in the game 5 in Boston. Remember, they only lose by 2.
Yeah. Oh.
Man,
it felt like
it was weird that year. That was the year Embiid broke his face the first time.
And the process.
Right. It was Bellinelli, Ilyasova, and Simmons played well.
Yes.
Crazy.
That
How about they're
series-
playing Brooklyn and he's nowhere to be found? That's unreal when you think about it.
Yeah. That would be the ultimate competitor. Would be like, you know what? I'm ready. Even though I think he's hurt at this point, right? Back. They say he's done with that, so
yeah,
he's not coming back.
I don't
but
even think it's that. I think he's done.
Right. But either competitor.
It's just bizarre when you think about again, this is playoff run number 6 for the Sixers. We're going to go through all the first 5, and the first 5 was this, right? It started with Miami and then losing to Boston in the second round. And, oh, God. It's amazing, man. This process has just been going on. All right, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975 as we hang out in a what a day. Beautiful day outside. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be warm. So it'll be a beautiful time, man. It's a perfect time right now to hook it all up. Get ready for all the playoffs and have some fun. Cuz Radio, Ray in for the Tunis. Tell you about the Baxter. Oh, the Baxter.
In Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
10 o'clock hour brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. All right. Welcome back. Buzz Radio. Ray in for the Tunis. And, it's amazing. I'm just going through the tale of the 5 previous playoffs. And listen, we deserve a badge of honor for dealing with these last 5 playoffs. It's been tough, man. It really has, right? So we start off with the 17-18 season. And look, that's an easy one because there was hope in 17-18. This was the first time the Sixers make the playoffs in years, right? It was years. And they beat Miami in the series, and they lose to Boston. They play Boston tough. And then, of course, we go to 18-19, and 18-19 is, right, take care of Brooklyn in 5. So we get Brooklyn again in the first round like this year. In 18-19, they had Brooklyn. They lose the first game, if you remember, and then they roll and win the next 4. So you beat Brooklyn in 5, and then that was the Kawhi shot. That was the Kawhi series. Oh, if we remember the angst and pain that was the Kawhi series. Oh, my, that was tough.
Sends shivers down my spine.
Oh,
just thinking about it.
I know, dude. That was that whole series. 'Cause remember, Embiid had the one with the stomach. He had the stomach problems. And that was really the crossroads for 2 players, right? It was 2 players, the crossroads. It was Embiid and Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Simmons goes south, and Embiid matures. That was the circle with Embiid where he starts his maturation process, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, remember, he was out of shape. He was playing the video games. He had the stomach issue and all that stuff. And then after that series, he realized, look, I want to win, man. I want to win. And that's when he starts his maturation process. The next year was the COVID year, if you remember. So that was the COVID year. The playoffs get pushed to August. Simmons gets hurt. It's just Embiid and literally nobody else. I'll give you some of the box scores. You'll remember it. They get swept by the Celtics in 1920. And then, of course, that sets the stage for 2021. And Washington, they beat in the first round, and they look good. And then Simmons goes off the reservation. That was it. That was the end of Simmons. He started to feel it throughout that series. He starts to get worse and worse, and it all sets up for Father's Day. Oh. And Father's Day, do you remember that year, Father's Day 2021?
Oh, we got to relive the pain to get to the good side here.
Atlanta.
Yep.
Father's Day, Trae Young, the non-dunk. Passes the ball. I still can't believe they lost that game. I still can't believe they lost that series.
All year.
I can't believe it. To this day, Ray.
To get to the 1 seed.
They lost that series.
Oh. That Hawks core. What are they now?
Him. It was all him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all Simmons. It was it. He quit. And that was really the day he quit on the game. He quit on his career. To this day, I've never seen anything like Ben Simmons.
No.
Because, again, it's not like he was a complete bust. It's not like he was a bum. It isn't.
He was drafted. He was an all-star. When he stepped into the league, he was playing pretty much at an all-star level.
Dude, he was a player. Now, again, he couldn't shoot and the whole thing. We know that. But he was a player. He could dive to the basket. He was a great defender. He was a great facilitator. He was an excellent player. And he quit on himself. He quit on the league. He quit on the team. It was unbelievable. I to this day, I still never saw anything like it. In many ways, it's the parallels. The stories of Wentz and Simmons are just bizarre, just straight up bizarre. Usually, you have a flop, like he's a flop. Like Okafor was a flop because Okafor was better suited for the NBA in 1992.
Yep.
Fultz was a flop. He just wasn't mature and just wasn't good enough. These two, are you kidding me? They just completely go off the rails. I mean, that's the most amazing thing about it.
To have two of them in the same city in the same stretch of like 5 years is unreal.
I'm reliving these playoffs, right? I'm going,
right.
What the freak? Like, you got to be kidding me. That whole series. And then we find out later in a report by Ramona Shelbourne that never really got the traction it should have, that he was trying to beg out the game 7. You imagine faking a COVID exposure? I mean, that's outrageous.
To get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you're the second best guy on the team. Like, what?
I still can't believe that. That's one for the ages. And then, of course, last year you have the trade, and then Harden comes in, and then he just doesn't have the legs against Miami. And even that series, they should have won that series. When you look at these last 5 years, oh, my God. It's like walking through a thorn bush.
Yes.
My God. Oh, God. So here it is. It all sets up for playoffs 2023, Saturday, 1 o'clock, Wells Fargo. Now, my man, and then we're going to get to the vault in a second, but I got to tell you, my man Eric, he had a good point. He's like, listen, let Boston, let Miami get through, right? And let Boston have to deal with a tough Miami team.
Rough them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Tire them out. Yeah, I like that.
Muck it up. I love that. That's Eric on Instagram.
Thank you, Eric.
Eric McLean. I like that. I do.
I'll hold to that thought. I like that. Let's roll with that.
Too.
Go Miami.
Right. We'll get back to it, and we'll get all your calls at 610-632-0975. But it's 11 a.m. That means it's time for the vault.
You know, when we began opening this vault nearly 2 hours ago, we had no real idea what we'd find inside. As it turns out, we haven't found very much.
All right, the vault presented by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
All right, so we got a birthday, we got an anniversary, we got multiple anniversaries, actually, and we also have a returning player that I would like to pay a little homage to. So we'll start with the birthday. We're going to start with one, John Madden's birthday. So it's
dude.
So we talked food already today. Holiday food. What would be the conversation of John Madden outside of football, of course,
turducken.
without the turducken? Let's break down that turducken.
I'll tell you, Pat, this stuff is looking good and smelling good and tasting good. We got to dig in and start eating now.
It is good, but you got to hurry because the bus is running. It's getting close to game time. We got to get headed for the Silver Dome, and we just like to say happy Thanksgiving to you guys back in the studio.
Again, a happy Thanksgiving. But we got a fan back there, but we got a turducken, right?
Yeah. This is a turducken right here, where we got, you know what a turducken is? A turducken, this thing here is a deboned duck stuffed in a deboned chicken, stuffed in a deboned turkey. With stuffing, now you're talking. And that has 8 legs.
The The leg's got to have a bone, doesn't it? It can't be deboned if it's got legs.
Then we put the legs on it too. See, and you just kind of cut this right down the middle, and then you cut sideways, and you get a little turkey and a little chicken and a little duck. Now that's there. That's turducken. Then over there we have the turkey. See, now here's the turkey. We got 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs, 5 legs, 6 legs. So 6 of these legs, or 1 of these legs, or 2 of these 6 legs are going to be given to someone. I mean, whoever you want to give them to.
What do you want? What do you want to do with those grapes?
With it, no, the grapes are gone, and then I'm going to eat the turducken with anyone who wants.
Dude, that's awesome. That's fantastic. The turducken.
The turducken. I love the breakdown where they're circling the screen. He's giving you each of the legs, why it's deboned. The number of turducken videos you can find online are fantastic. But yeah, that's the turducken. But I didn't want to just leave that. He also had another sense of humor on broadcast. You could see where the play's happening, and he's talking about turducken because he knows he's doing something that's entertaining. This was another one where he's talking about Troy Aikman and his lack of facial hair.
Troy Aikman's trying to grow a beard, and he just can't do it. I mean, the blonde-haired guys, a lot of them have trouble, but I can't even. I'm looking as close as I can, and I can't see any beard. But that's a 4-day beard, isn't it?
It's a passive attempt.
It's very, very passive.
There it is.
Now here it is, but see, I mean, he got a little in here, and a little up there. Here, but he doesn't have anything here at all. Watch, when you take it off, he doesn't have anything going up in there.
You got to give him time. He just had his 29th birthday.
I know, but I don't think he's doing a very good. I'd quit. I mean, like if you've been working out for like 4 days and that's all you get, and the going gets tough. If it's that tough, just quit.
Well, you can't just quit.
Yes, you can. Well, that's what I'm saying. When the going gets tough, quit. Never lose.
Wow, that's fabulous. I'm curious. You never got to experience Madden, really?
I got tail end of Madden's career, and then I never got Summerall of Madden. So I missed all that.
When you listen to it, does it sound good to you, or does it sound antiquated? I'm just curious.
No, I enjoy it. And, you're watching videos of old broadcasts of him, and I love how he knows he's entertaining you, and, you can see the 3-yard run. He's not breaking from the entertainment. I like, personally, what I've watched, and obviously I know him from the franchise. For a while there, his voice was still on there, so if I'm playing old games, I listen to at least the jokes in there. But I did have just not enough Madden in my lifetime of watching.
Yeah, he was the GOAT. He really was. He was the GOAT.
I want to give you one more for Madden, then we'll move on. This is him and Pat Summerall for Summerall's last broadcast talking.
They can take me from here, standing next to you, which is going to happen. But one thing they can't take is my feeling for you, the friendship we developed. We've been a team, and I'm proud of that fact. We've been a winning team.
And the memories of 21 years and 21 great years, and not only, 21 years of games, but 21 years of being together and everything. As you say, those memories will be with us forever, and they can never be taken away. And I have a plaque here. It's from the playing field to the broadcast booth. Fox Sports salutes 50 years of NFL greatness to Pat Summerall.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. It's a good moment, Ray.
It's a good moment. I figured
love this vault.
I know you enjoy your Summerall and Madden, so I want to make sure you had some of that.
Thank you. That's a nice gift, yeah.
Someone that this area enjoyed for a couple of years with the Phillies was one Gene Segura, who returns tonight. So I got a couple of moments. I got one regular season, then obviously.
Gene.
Yeah, Gene's back. He'll get his ring tonight. Let's start with one of my personal favorites. This is a regular season moment, because there were moments throughout the drought where it was like, maybe this team's going to turn. They had played the Mets all week. They were on the verge of sweeping the Mets and needed a big hit in the 9th inning, and that's where we pick it up with Gene Segura.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Out to left field. McNeil going back. It is gone! 3-run walk-off home run for the Bills. Back-to-back nights, they win it in their final at-bat. They win it 6-3, and look at this celebration. First career walk-off home run for Segura. He's our Chevrolet player of the game. The Phillies have won 4 consecutive ball games. They have swept out the Mets.
Wow. Always nice to sweep out the Mets. So, yeah, 2019, big walk-off for him. But the go-ahead hit he'll be remembered for forever here happened to be the wild card Game 1 against the Cardinals last fall. Let's take a listen.
Bases loaded, 1 out. And the 2-2. Punched out. And past the diving. Edman into right field. 1-run scores. 2-run score. And the Phillies have come all the way back. And they take a 3-2 lead on the clutch. 2 outs, 2-run single by Segura. It is 3-2 Phillies.
That was it, man. That was it. How big was that?
Massive. And I still can't tell how we made contact with that baseball.
I know.
It's incredible.
That set up everything.
Set up everything, and he also had some more postseason success. Obviously, you remember the night where he was the hero, then he was the troublemaker, then he was the hero again. Here's a pair of highlights. We've got a big hit and then a pair of defensive plays for you from one Gene Segura.
1-2. Breaking ball. He fights it out. Base hit right center. Gene Segura delivers. Phillies take the lead. What a piece of hitting.
Wow.
Grisham on the ground. Diving stop. Gene Segura. He's still got it. Well, the veteran on the infield with a sprawling play for the first out of the third. Profar at first. 3-1. Kim bounces one. Right side. Gene Segura. Roller coaster night continues. He's at the top of the mountain right now. Diving defensive play.
Dude.
Oh, reliving that. Oh.
I love it. My man Bradley, I was at the Phils-Mets game where Gene hit the 3-run home run walk-off. My Mets friend talking junk the whole time until Gene went yard.
Bradley and I had similar experience. I experienced the game the same way. Mets fan talking trash.
Really?
Gene Segura, shove it. Take that.
My man Dawu, Gene eating lunch in the parking lot is going to get some big love tonight. That's fantastic.
All right. Today's also the anniversary of one of your favorite buildings, a building you loved. It's first baseball game. The Vet. First time the Phillies played at the Vet 52 years ago today. Here's how the first base hit sounded.
Line drive, that's a hit off the bat of Larry Boa. Staub cuts it off. Boa's out at first base with a line single. Now the first hit. Veterans Stadium, and it goes justifiably to Larry Boa. Here's Boa in the first base hit ever in this ballpark. A good fastball right down the pipe, a little on the inside part of the plate, and Larry got that barrel of the bat out there, lined it into right field. That's the first base hit ever in this beautiful new stadium. One out on the first. Boa breaking. Here's the throw by Bateman, and he is safe at second base with a stolen base.
Look at that.
A little Harry action for you.
I love it.
And that was also the beginning of Harry's career with the Phillies. So this is a big day there. We have a little montage that was put together from that first day at the Vet, whether it was the first home run, and then a cut from one of the newscasts talking about the day at Veterans Stadium.
Down when he slammed the first home run ever hit in Veterans Stadium.
It's a great trivial question because it comes up a lot, and a lot of people say, "Oh, you hit the first home run in the Vet." I said, "Well, yes, I did, and it'll stay until they tear it down."
Final score: Philadelphia 4, Montreal 1. A historic day in Philadelphia baseball history.
Wow. A historic day in Philadelphia baseball history.
We should do a show. Just sound like that. Old Timers Day.
I love it. No, that's pretty good, dude.
One more anniversary for you, real quick. You know me. I have to break out something from the vault from years and years and years ago. Syracuse Nationals, who end up becoming your Philadelphia 76ers, won their first title today in 1955. Here's audio from the end of that game.
With the score tied at 91, the Pistons fouled George King as Syracuse had a chance to win the game. With 12 seconds left, King buried the foul shot to give Syracuse a 92-91 lead. With only seconds remaining, Andy Phillip pushed the ball up court, but as he tried to dish it off, George King stepped in front of the pass, and the Syracuse Nationals held on to win 92-91 for their first NBA championship.
Because why not?
Dude, I gotta tell you, we're strong.
Gotta fill in. Big shoes to fill here.
Dude, you're just crushing it. In fact, Jared Thomas on DMB on Twitter says, great vault today by that Dick Dunn. You, of course, are Ray Dunn.
That's true.
Filling in for Dick Chunas.
That's right.
So Dick Dunn comes in strong with a vault, dude. I got to tell you. By the way, Dick Dunn sounds even better than Dick Chunas.
Filling in today for Dick Chunas. I'm Dick Dunn.
Oh my God, that's fabulous. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to the phone lines coming up. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. And we're gonna play you some audio from last night's Flyers game, from what happened in the building. And I just say enough. Enough. We really need to do something about the Flyers. We really do. We just have to. We got to talk it out, all right? I need to call a town hall for the Flyers, and I already put the wheels in motion for it. 610-632-0975. It's Cuz Radio with Dick Dunn in for the Chunas. That's it, man. Right. You are now Dick Dunn from here on out.
Sounds good. Look.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
Get my work email changed.
That's all right. Let's talk about I'm going to tell you about Dr. Andy. Dr. Andy and sleeping healthy, which is sleep healthy. Look, you ever sit there and you wake up and you got a headache and you're really not, you don't feel rested. You're still tired. You're still wiping sleep off your day all day long. You're pumping yourself with coffee. That's why I really want you to meet Dr. Andy Cohen, voted best of Philly for multiple years by his peers when it comes to combating sleep. All right? He travels the country lecturing other doctors on the procedures and methods that he's I gotta tell you, Dick Dunn is the greatest.
Oh, it's awesome.
All right.
We got B-Gun working to get some Dickie Dunn cuts.
All right, so the best is my cousin. There's a great movie. It's an old movie about hockey. People know Slapshot. I'm sure you've heard of it, right?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. Otherwise, I would have been all over the reference right away.
Like, you got to see, and I haven't seen it in years. I mean, but it's like a legendary movie, right? Slapshot.
Right.
You got to check it out because the reporter is Dickie Dunn. My cousin goes, if Dickie Dunn reported it, it must be true. And that's you, man.
That's me.
You're Dick Dunn.
I'm Dick Dunn.
Oh, my God.
I'm real life Slapshot.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, my God. That's awesome. That's fabulous. All right. Speaking of which, now you have your new nickname. It was born.
Appreciate
stuff like that just has to happen.
Yeah. Well, we said
it happens organically, right?
I wasn't going to work here until I got a nickname from you. There you go. I officially started today. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Yeah. I love it. All right. So here's the thing. Oh, my God. I'm dying laughing. It's hysterical. I need to turn serious for a second. And I want to go inside the Wells Fargo. Easter Sunday. All right? TNT, nationally televised game. This is it, right? I mean, the Bruins, Boston, our nemesis of a sports town, having a historic season, the Bruins. They are rolling. They sit 6 of their regulars last night because they're getting ready for the playoffs. Something the Flyers won't be in, right? They're going to sit. They sit 6 of their guys. Pasta Man has a hat trick. They take over the building. The latest team to take over a building. Here's our arena. As decayed as it is, our arena. Take a listen what went on inside. We want the cup. We want the cup. Are you kidding me? This is inside the Wells Fargo Arena. We want the cup. A rousing chant by Bruins fans. Inside our. Now, we take over places, right? We, as a legion of Eagles fans and Phillies fans and Sixers fans, and we take over. Union, we travel. And here it was, our building. Now, again, first of all, it's Easter Sunday. Who the hell wants to go watch the Flyers, right? So, granted, I'm sure, you're a Boston fan and you're from Boston or you travel down and it's a fun weekend and you go to the game and they're having a historic season. It's just the state of this team. This team has been rudderless for over a decade. No plan. Look at just the horrific what they have done season after season. And they still have nothing to show for it. They still don't have a legitimate young player who is a frontline player. Let's be real, right? There's some guys that have some ability, but none of them are potentially first-line players. There's none. At best, as you get second-line guys, they don't have any first-line talent. The trades, the signings, it's just been abysmal. Even this year, right? Like, look at what a colossal mistake this whole season was. In a year where you had really transcendent talent, in the draft, what do? You go in and you don't tank. You go sign Tony D. You go get a coach who's a winner, right? Like, you don't need to do that. Like, Tortorella makes them much better than they should be. You're too soon for Tortorella. They can't get anything right. I don't even know what to do. Like, honestly, I miss the Flyers. I was talking about this last week. It was last Saturday or Sunday. I turned it on. It was Bruins and Penguins and Pasta, Rocket, and the Boston wins 4-3. And I remember thinking, wow, man, they just play. Now, again, they set a record for wins in an NHL season. I mean, it's unbelievable. They just surpassed Tampa and the Red Wings. The Red Wings, that Red Wings team that was ridiculous that beat the Flyers in the Cup years ago, and then the Tampa team from a few years ago. So, yeah, obviously the Bruins are a great team. I miss hockey being relevant in this town. It's not relevant. It's dead. And it's a mess. We got to talk about it. We got to discuss it. So I want to invite you guys tomorrow. We're going to do the show from Chickies and Pete's in South Philly. And we're going to devote the entire show. Because, look, Sixers start on Saturday, so we have all week. We have a special Sixers roundtable on Saturday. On Thursday for Saturday's game. So Thursday we're going to be at McGillen's, and so we're doing a special then. We'll talk Phillies and we'll talk some Sixers, but tomorrow's the perfect day. It's the day of the last home game. So tomorrow night the Flyers play Columbus. It's the last home game. I've secured a bunch of tickets that I want to give away. And we got to discuss, we need an emergency town hall meeting on what needs to be done. Now, the new CEO, Hilferty, seems like a nice guy, Philly guy, right? Sure is a brilliant business guy. Ran Blue Cross, Blue Shield. All due respect. Because he's a fan of the Flyers, he's going to change things. It's still locked in a corporate structure. They still have to answer to shareholders, stock prices. It's still a corporation that's running this thing. The Flyers need to be liberated. And I love Comcast. It's a great company, Philadelphia company. I'm proud of it. Proud of the Roberts family, what they've accomplished, that it's a Philadelphia company. But it's too big. It's a corporation. It just needs to do what's best for the city and free them and sell them. I know they say they're not doing that, but they need to. Just another suit. And all due respect to Hilferty, who seems like a great guy, a bright guy. But really, what's going to change? Nothing's going to change. This whole thing needs to be redone. It just does. From top to bottom, it's a mess, and I miss them. And I love them like you love them. We love our teams. We care about our teams. And this is just an embarrassment. And I know they've been embarrassment for a long time. The whole thing has just been ugly. Sans the one COVID uptick, which was fool's gold. But something has to be done. Let's just get together and come up with ideas. I just got questions. And maybe you guys have some answers and ideas. And it all starts when you want to save something. It all starts with just sharing ideas. And maybe, just maybe, we'll come up with an answer. I mean, Something has to be done. It's sad. Play that again, Dick Dunn. Wow. I mean, isn't that sad, Ray?
So sad. You can hear the resistance, the few boos there of the Philly fans trying to keep it at home. But my goodness, been taken over, and this is a pattern now. This is not just a one-off thing. This is something that happens if a team from the Eastern Seaboard, really, and really from the Northeast, comes in. There's a good chance that it's going to be taken over by them.
Yeah, and I want to give credit. Brandon Summerman was the one who took that video, and he tweeted it out. Brandon, who does he's a great follow at @B_Summerman on Twitter, and he does some great hockey blog stuff, and it really is good. It's good stuff. He's the managing editor at Brotherly Bully. He does some podcast stuff. It's really good. And he took that video, and I think we all need to just, let's just get on board and figure something out. Let's get together and figure it all out. Because something needs to be done. This is bad.
Sad.
I got to tell you, right, I don't see anything changing.
That's the tough part.
I mean, again, rearranging the deck chairs, what does that do?
Gives the look of, hey, maybe something will happen, but it's tough. I mean, especially...
What's really going to change? I mean, stop.
Well, that's what I mean. It gives the
We've
look.
Been through this over and over again, so you're going to put a new CEO in there? And listen, I like the guy. I'm sure the guy is one of us. But it's a corporate. It goes beyond Helferty. It goes beyond all this stuff.
The concern for me is losing the next generation of Flyers fans.
I don't think I've ever seen them this down before. I've never seen the Flyers this irrelevant in town.
No, I mean, it'd be hard to find a time that they were. And I get worried about the next generation of Flyers fans because it's not becoming, the way we talked about how at one point it was the thing to go to a Phillies game. People used to love going to Flyers games. People love being in that building. People love being a part of it. And there's an entire generation that might not remember 2010, and all they've got is, like you mentioned, the fool's gold of the bubble. And that's about it.
It's just outrageous. It really is. You're right. I mean, think about this for a second, too. This is a draft that everybody in the league knew had generational talent at the end of it, right? With this draft. The end of this season, this draft was going to have franchise-changing talent. And what do? They let Fletcher just put a match to it. After the deadline. So how do you trust that? How do you trust an entity that allows Fletcher to steer the deadline and then you fire him? How do you have faith in that?
I just don't know how you do. I don't know how you really find the trust in an organization that was, go ahead, deadline. Now it's time to make a change.
Like in a year where you knew you had to tank. Like this was it. You had to do that. You needed to do something drastic. You had to. So we all need to get together and we need to just exchange ideas. Tell what do you guys think? Where should we go with it? I mean, let's be real here. I mean, oh my God, what possibly? Who do they have? Like when you look at the young players, I mean, you got Forster, who could maybe be something.
Yeah.
Second round player. Tippett's a third line player. Cutter's going to be interesting, but he's what? He's not even the top. He's not projected to be a top 15 center in the league. Do they have a top 50 skater in the league? No. Inside this organization that's projected? No. They need massive overhaul, bloated contracts. It's just a mess. It's a mess. So I want to discuss this. I want to convene. We'll go to Chickies and Pete's in South Philly, which I think is a great hub to discuss this. All right. Any ideas? You throw it out. I'm going to have a bunch of tickets to give away, and we'll discuss that, and that'll be a big topic for tomorrow's show. Don't forget Thursday at McGillen's for the Sixers Roundtable, all in play today. And I read you guys a quick summation of the last 5 playoff appearances. Can we scale this mountain? Can we bust through this wall? Can we make it alive through the thorn bush that has been the playoffs over the last 5 years? 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. That's how you join us as we convene on this Easter Monday across the Delaware Valley. It's going to be a beautiful week, too. It's going to be fun. All right, let me tell you about Aaron's. Now, my friends at
AutoZone.
All right, 11:48 across the Delaware Valley. Cuz Radio. Tunis is off today. Dick Dunn in for the Tunis.
Dickie Dunn?
Dickie Dunn.
That, of course, is from the movie Slapshot.
Yeah, Dickie Dunn wrote this.
That's you, buddy.
That's me, all right.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know. But I gotta be honest, I was struggling to make it through that update. Following afterwards, I had to compose myself, take a second.
Man, Jared from Jared Thomas, man, is awesome. He's the one who came up with it. He said, "Can we get some Dick Dunn T-shirts made?"
Try and get them made. Start handing them out at McGill's.
Oh my God!
Happy Sixers players.
That is
filling in today for Dick Tunis. I'm Dick Dunn.
Dick Dunn is better than Dick Tunis, I think.
It's the alliteration right there.
Right. Plus, it's like one syllable.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dick Tunis is awesome, but it's one syllable, then two syllables in the last name. You go one syllable, one syllable.
That's why I've been Ray Dunn in my previous life before I got here and became Dick Dunn. That's why I was Ray Dunn back then.
Dude, that is just classic. Absolutely classic. Real quick, some draft nuggets. According to Shefty, at least 6 teams have inquired with the Arizona Cardinals about trading up for the 3rd overall pick in the draft. The Cardinals are mulling whether to move the pick or keep it. The problem is you're stuck with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and you're not moving him.
Well, you can't.
You can't. That's the thing. So you're stuck there. Oh,
you can't.
That's
move
tough, right? But ideally, if you had a quarterback you didn't like, you'd be able to take quarterback. You can't move him, so you're not going to be able to take any other quarterback. You're stuck there.
No, and these quarterbacks, I take a flyer on them. I'd like any of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bryce Young, right? I mean, when you go through, even you go with the two guys that are more projects, I got to tell you, Anthony Richardson.
Oh, he intrigues me.
He does. Listen, I know. I expected. It was funny, right? If you rewind, it's why sports is awesome, right? Because you can never tell exactly what's what. But when you think about it, we didn't know what Jalen was going to be.
Right.
So Howie still had the pick in his back pocket, the second pick for this year's draft. So theoretically, you'd have enough ammo to move up in case you needed it. So going into last college football season, all right? So before last year's Eagles season, when we didn't know, we still had question as to who Jalen was, what he was, and whether or not you were going to commit to him. It was, all right, let's look at Anthony Richardson, who's a quarterback from Florida. And it's a shame because, he didn't have a good regular season. He had a lot. He was very, very inaccurate. But he's got tremendous skills. Like, he's big, he's fast, and he does have a big arm. He just needs someone to build him, right? Like, he needs someone to mold those skills, because I do think he could be an NFL under the right coaching staff. Like, if he was with Andy Reid, if he got to Andy, Andy would make him into a player. I fully believe that.
Oh, yeah. Big time. He's so intriguing. You just watch him and you're like, all right, if the tools all come together, you put it all together, you get in the right system. Oh my, who's going to be the lucky team that runs with him? The thing you become concerned about is like, oh, don't let him end up on one of those teams. It's just, there's no organization, there's no structure, because it's going to be a waste of talent if he doesn't turn into something.
No, all kidding aside, when you look at them, and you look at a play, he's nasty.
Oh yeah.
Now, it's funny because the Ravens sign Odell, I guess hoping to really kind of force Lamar into just, okay, come on back, man. Come on back and let's try to work this out. So they sign OBJ, and we'll see. But if I'm a team looking for a quarterback, like, I'm intrigued. Even a guy like Will Levis. Will Levis is intrigued because he's not completely a statue.
Right.
He's got some. He's got a big arm. He played on a team that didn't have a lot of skill guys, that didn't have a great offensive line, that was more defensive oriented in Kentucky. And he's got size, 6'4", 230, good athlete. He kind of reminds me of Josh Allen a little bit. Not as great an athlete, but he can move a little bit. And then you got C.J. Stroud, who I just think is a tremendous talent. He's another one that you got to teach him. He really needs a good coaching staff because he's got a big arm. He can move. Now, he had great receivers at Ohio State, so that really helped him. But there's some quarterbacks that I think you got a real shot.
Do you imagine the alternate reality where every day we're signing on here? Well, Anthony Richardson, what do you think? So nice.
God.
It's so
listen,
nice.
I'm it's easy for us to just kind of talk about, hey, all these quarterbacks. One's going to be good, one or two maybe. A couple are going to be busts. Yes, because if you told me right now that in the alternate universe the Eagles need a quarterback, I really wouldn't. I would like Anthony Richardson. I like Bryce Young, but Bryce Young is small. There's warts with all those guys.
Right. We'd be ripping them, dissecting.
The moral of the story, you're right, is thank God we got Jalen.
We could kind of be like, yeah, I think Anthony Richardson, he's an interesting prospect. I think Bryce Young.
We
good.
would be analyzing this thing left and right, going through every quarterback.
You'd be like,
imagine
all the way down.
Thank God.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about that because you hold your breath, and if you pick the wrong one, you're dead.
Yep. Then we do the conversation again.
So the moral of the story as we approach the draft is, TGFJ. Thank God for Jalen.
That's the T-shirt right there.
TGFJ, baby. That's the motto of this draft. I don't have to stress over which quarterback I'm going to take because I love talking about quarterbacks. So I enjoy the draft and I enjoy the draft talk like that. But seriously, they are in such a better place right now, knowing that Jalen's a player and what Jalen has done to try to get it right with one of those four guys.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's where they would be at. You're right. We would be out of our minds stressing. Which way we going? Which way we going?
And if it didn't happen this way this season, we'd be all right. What's the trade up package? What can the Eagles include? What can they throw in there to get themselves up? What team do they have to be in front of to get the guy that we want? What if that team jumps us to get that guy? Oh well, maybe you could give him another chance. No, it's nice. It's nice you could just sit here. You've got your quarterback, and you can talk about the luxury of 2 first-round picks, where you're trying to fill a couple holes, build a couple depth at couple different positions. It's nice. It's a much more refreshing conversation than we need a quarterback. Where's the quarterback? Get me the quarterback.
It was funny. Over the weekend, I was talking to a friend of mine who was off from he works in the league, right?
Right.
So we were talking about, he asked me about the Eagles. And and he goes, dude, I got to tell you, he goes, I'm so impressed. Now, he's known Howie forever. He goes, I'm really impressed at the job that Howie and Jeffrey have done.
Yeah.
And I go, listen, it's the truth. It really is the truth. And the coaching staff, getting Sirianni. I mean, if you rewind just to 2 years ago, I mean, it's unbelievable. The story really is. There's been amazing stories that almost could all be 30 for 30s.
Yeah.
And the end of Wentz that leads it, that also coincides the end of Dougie. The end of Dougie P. Right?
Yeah.
Like
the way that all ends.
That's a big deal.
The rebirth, really.
Yes.
Because you have people that are like, yeah, this organization's in a bad way.
Well, no,
be
right.
For a few years.
And the move, think about this. The move on from Doug and Sirianni's a home run.
Oh, it's amazing. You look at the hires they've made.
Yes.
It's guys that no one else we're talking to that they're able to bring in here and find a way.
I mean, it's amazing to me what he's done. That Sirianni is just a home run of a coach. That he got that right. And then everything else fits from there. It's wild. It really is.
Something special.
It is. It is. All right. Time now for the giveaway. That's right. The gift card giveaway.
97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway.
That's right. Your chance to win a $1,000 gift card to anywhere you want. The keyword this time is fame. That's right. Fame. F-A-M-E. Fame. There's three ways to play. You can enter the keyword on the Fanatic app. You can go to 97.5thefanatic.com, or you can text it to the text board 45911. That's 45911. Once again, the keyword is fame. You can text it to 45911. 97.5 The Fanatic's $1,000 gift card giveaway presented by American Standard HVAC Contractors. To find a dealer, visit AmericanStandardAir.com. One person selected at random will win. Get complete rules for this company-wide contest at 97.5thefanatic.com. Good luck. I'll tell you though, man, it is truly astounding that we're in this spot. That we're in this spot and don't have to worry about having to get a quarterback.
It's just refreshing, really, is what it is. Like, you just are able to breathe in the offseason and think about, okay, how can you build out this position? How can you fill what you lost in this position? Because if you don't have the quarterback, you really don't have a chance. And that's the nice thing that Jalen has afforded you. And the conversation last year going into the season was, as you were saying, was all, well, if Jalen doesn't work out, you got those picks, but now you can use both of them. Whether it's going to get more assets and a trade back, which is, something we know how he loves to do.
Yes,
or
it's just such a big deal.
2 first-round talents.
I know. It's such a big deal, dude. It really is. Not having to worry about, not having to stress for one of those 4 quarterbacks. Again, and I think, they will have a chance. Jalen, now all of a sudden, here's Hurts, who comes in, and who's better in the NFC right now?
I don't think there is one.
If Rodgers goes to the Jets, who you got? Who's better than Jalen in the NFC? How amazing is that?
Oh, you love it. You're so set there.
What's funny? It's just the stories. Like I always look at sports through story, right? And maybe it's because I enjoy the storytelling element of sports more than anything. Like, I like the strategy pieces, but I love storytelling. I like that more than even like hot talk opinion. And even when I was in newspaper, right? When I was a writer for both newspaper and digital, I enjoyed the long piece that was telling the story, more of narrative driven story, writing.
Right.
Than columnizing,
yes.
Than editorial. Because I just found it more interesting. Like, opinions, everybody's got the opinion and you get it, whatever. But telling a great story. And in case you just joined us, we started with the Sixers playoffs, right? And think about that story. That story of the Sixers is unbelievable, dude. This is playoff season number 6, right? Postseason number 6 in a row for the Sixers. 5 straight postseasons. And think about it. These are the 5 postseasons. The first one is the one that comes with what? Bellinelli, Ilyasova, and then, of course, you play Boston tough and you lose in 5. They lost a couple tough ones, including that game you mentioned, the confetti game, where it looks like Bellinelli hits the 3 to win it. It's a 2. They go to overtime and they lose. That was what lost in all these losses in the postseason. That was a tough one because that gets them to 2-1. They played really well in game 2 of that series. You cut it to 2-1. They win game 4. Then all of a sudden there's a chance it's 2-2 going back to Boston.
Yeah, and you don't get the gentleman's sweep potential where you won the last game at home. Good luck going back on the road. Smell ya. Get ready for next season.
I mean that was anyway. And that year, of course, we saw Simmons be so, he was good.
Attacking.
He was
aggressive
real good. And then that sets the stage for 18-19. They beat Brooklyn to start. And then you play Toronto, and that's the Raptors series. And, dude, that was the whole Kawhi series. That was in many ways the Embiid begins the maturation. Right? That was when he actually begins to mature during that series. Because he was immature. He had the stomach issue, if you remember. He was up. He had and he at the end he was really upset when they lost that that series, that's kind of when it all began for. I think that's when it automatically clicked.
He became the superstar that we now know and love. Where it's, all right, this is what it's going to take to get to that next spot.
Dude, I'll never. I'm looking back at that series now.
Oh.
What do you remember besides Game 7? What do you remember?
I remember Game 3, the windmill dunk. They go up 2-1. He's doing the airplane coming back. I was in the Wells Fargo Center that I think it was an afternoon. Was that an afternoon or night? Whatever it was. Game 3, the energy in there. To me, when he does that, I was like, oh, sweet. This is a team that's going places. This is the energy, the way they're playing. They're up 2-1 on the Raptors. It was the year they pushed the chips in. They go get Butler. They've got Tobias now, and they've got the starting 5 there on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That Game 3 to me sticks out in my head so vividly because I'm like, that was the game. That was the moment where this is the team that's going to get that next step, get to that next spot, and obviously the pain that followed that. I remember the silence after Game 7.
But think about this, though. Where the series was lost, Game 4. Let's go back to that date, all right? It's May 5th, 2019. Sixers are up after you talked about it on that Saturday. They take a 2-1 series lead. It's now Sunday, Saturday night. Now Sunday, 3:30 game, right?
Yep.
That's the day that Joel doesn't really sleep that night.
Right.
They go.
Needs the IV.
Right.
Yes. Not
they
feeling
lose
well.
101-96. And look at the box score. Joel, 35 minutes he plays. He's 2 for 7. He scores 11 points.
Oh.
When did you ever see Embiid, who's just dominant, right? He's 2 for 7, 11 points.
And even in that game, I'm looking at the box score now because I remember the Greg Monroe minutes. Monroe's in for 11 minutes. They're minus 18 when he's on the floor.
Yes. No, he's terrible.
Even sick Embiid, you can't compare him to his backup.
Sick Embiid was a plus 17.
Yeah.
But MVP Embiid
was not there.
Right. They win the game no matter what. If the MVP, if this Embiid or last year's Embiid is playing, then he was just young. That's the maturation of every superstar. And that was a big moment. But, dude, you're looking at the box score?
Yeah.
Look at the top of the Sixers box score. What do you see?
Oh, hold up. Advertisement.
What do you see?
Might need to tell me what I see. Advertisement popped up. They're trying to sell me something.
Tobias Harris, 2 for 13 from 3.
Oh, yeah, now I'm looking at
2 for
7 of 23.
For Tobias. He shot 23 times that game. And he was 2 for 13 from beyond the arc. Is that unbelievable?
The fact that at that point it was any bit of the decision to run everything and let Tobias be the guy taking 20-plus shots a game says something.
Now, in fairness to that whole team, look at that bench.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something that has eluded us forever, right? So here's the bench. Here's who played in that game. James Ennis, Mike Scott, who had 0 points, and Greg Monroe, who you said who had 2 points and was a minus 18. James Ennis had 9 points, was a minus 5. That's it. And Boban, who played a couple seconds. That's all. That was their bench, dude.
James Ennis playing 26 minutes.
But that was all. That was amazing. Yeah. And that was their bench. And they should have won. They should have beat that. They should have won. They should have played Milwaukee that year.
Oh man. That team, top heavy as it was, that starting 5,
I mean,
trotting out there.
It was incredible.
Oh.
It was incredible. So I need, it's a big, we talk about the narrative and that story. I mean, that was the second year of the process, of the postseason process, right? Where they make the playoffs. And then the third year is the sweep to Boston. And then we get and that was COVID. So that's the bubble playoffs, and that was just a mess. Simmons gets hurt, the back or whatever, and it was just a mess. And then it just goes over the hill, right? Because then it just goes off a cliff because that's when Simmons has the meltdown.
Yep.
The following year and Father's Day. You want to talk about a story? Unbelievable. What a story.
How many parts to a documentary would you need to properly get through everything that's happened? Yeah.
Oh, it's that. Now, they don't like to do more than, 6 to 8.
Right.
But it's definitely, I mean, I could do multiple seasons on the process. I mean, it's just too good. There's just too much that has gone on. It's just incredible.
Like you do the playoffs, and there's enough storylines for a good couple of episodes. We haven't even touched Fultz. You mentioned Embiid breaking his face the first time. It's his own teammate that there's the collision with. There's the conversation of the trade for Mikal Bridges, and Zaire Smith ends up being eaten, or near a sesame seed, nearly dies. That's a part of the conversation because he's never able to develop. Obviously, he's not going to become what Bridges became. But you have a player that's traded for, that comes near a sesame seed, nearly dies. You have to talk about that. You have to talk about Simmons and everything that happened with him. You have to talk about what happened in the conversation of Fultz. You start rolling down the hill.
Like, the Bridges thing is absurd.
It is absurd.
I mean, the Bridges thing's
He's going to have a game in this series.
Listen, Brett Brown was a dynamite guy. But, oh, my God, he killed us. Like, he buried us. That move alone, there was a couple of them that were just bad. But between Bridges and not wanting Jimmy Butler, listen, Jimmy didn't want him, so it was a two-way street. But, my God, he killed us. Killed us. All right, we got a lot to do. So here's what's on the table. Let's open up the phones and talk to everybody. So we have all the stuff in the Flyers, and don't forget tomorrow, Town Hall, Chickies and Pete's. I'll have a bunch of tickets to give away, and we need to discuss the future of the Flyers and what the hell to do. We got Sixers and all this playoffs, like the shell. People wonder why, that we're shell-shocked. We're completely shell-shocked, right? I mean,
yeah.
After these last 5 years, completely shell-shocked. So now you got the playoffs coming up, and what's going to happen? And then, of course, we won't stray from the fights, but it's too good. And also, I got to put in our our field of bad mother fathers. People are asking about it. I got to give you an update where we're at, and we still need to fill out 64 of them so I can actually get us, where we can actually build out the field. So we got lots to do. 610-632-0975. Good time to get in. 610-632-0975. Cuz Radio with my man Dick Dunn.
Dickie Dunn?
Dickie Dunn.
Dick Dunn in for Dick Judas. All right, 12:22 across the Delaware Valley noontime hour. Brought to you by our good friends at Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Learn more about Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to servicefirsthvac.com. All right, so one of the other things that we're doing, and this is a little project we love to mess around with, is our Field of 64 Bad Mother Fathers. All right? That's what's going on. So I want to give you who we have. Right now we have 42 of them. All right?
Wow.
So we need to get about another, if we get another 30, then we'll whittle it down. So here's who we had, just so you know. All right? We got John Wick, because he's one of the...
One seed.
Right. We got Maximus, William Wallace, Batman, John McClane.
Anti-Batman?
Yes, I hate Batman.
Oh.
Shaft, Marcellus Wallace from Pulp, James Bond, Billy Jack, Bruce Lee, Jason Bourne, Chuck Norris, Rambo, Jack Reacher, Kaiser Sose, Seagal, Charlie Bronson, Omar from The Wire, Walter White,
Ooh.
the cousins from Breaking Bad, Schwarzenegger, Clint Eastwood, Mel Gibson as the Patriot and as William Wallace, Van Damme. I hate Van Damme. We got Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, Brian Mills, who is Liam Neeson from Taken. We got my Peaky Blinders, Tommy and Arthur Shelby. We got Uma from Kill Bill, Uma Thurman.
Right.
Leonidas from 300.
Got to.
Furio from the Sopranos.
Right.
Indiana Jones. Jack Ryan. He was
makes a lot of sense.
Clear and Present Danger, and he was also Harrison Ford. Hannibal Lecter.
Wow.
Michael Myers. Now, again, Bane from Batman.
Wow. Gonna need him on the same side of the bracket. Selection committee's gonna have to work on that.
Alonzo as Denzel from Training Day.
Right.
Also Denzel as the Equalizer. All right? So that's...
All right.
And the Punisher. We got the Punisher in there, too. Now, the rule is they can't have any superpower. All right? They have to be human. So that's part of the rule. So if we could just get to enough candidates, I'll sketch out the seeds and the regions, and then we can edit it. I want it to be a team thing.
You build a committee?
Yeah, exactly.
So no one can argue the seed lines?
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense. You know, you don't want any under teams like, say, UConn or San Diego State that might surprise some people, make people upset when they make surprise runs, you know?
Exactly.
Understood. Need it.
Exactly. Because I want to make sure, listen, we got to get this thing squared away. And squared away well done.
That's right.
So
I don't want to take ones from people.
Bad Mother Fathers have to be in there.
Right.
So we still need about 30 of them. So again, Dick Dunn, what's your what is your Twitter and Instagram?
At Ray Dunn 97.5.
All right.
So keep it nice and simple for the people. That's done with an E though.
All right.
Done with an E. Sorry. People always
Mine's
unnecessary
Anthony
E.
L. Gargano on Twitter, Anthony Lewis Gargano on Instagram. And we'll take suggestions that way. But also on the phones, let's open them up. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Oh, my man Gabe has a great one. Leon from The Professional.
Oh.
Played by Jean Reno. Have you seen The Professional?
I have not. I know what movie you're talking about.
That's a great one.
And if I'm remembering
Leon
correctly,
is
what
a
I've
great
seen.
one. He's a hitman.
Yes. That
And
one
he was a
works.
hitman with a soul. That's all right. Let's get back to the phone lines. 610-632-0975. VG, our man, Violations. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, let's talk about the hockey organization, eh? Let's see what's going on with these guys.
What's that? Yo, VG, what's that? We need to have a town hall, man. I want the town hall tomorrow. So we're going to do it, Chickies and Pete's.
No, I was going to say you might want to burn down the town hall, but if it's at Chickies and Pete's, no, burn it down.
Yeah, I know. Like, dude, I mean, listen, enough's enough. Did you hear that? Did you hear the sound coming from that game last night?
Yeah, you know,
And that's not the first time this season.
This is what's happened. Back in the day, you remember, they had the Stepford fans. We would give them a hard time. Packed building, no matter how bad the Flyers were. They got the new building, prices went up. So it's not those Stepford fans anymore. You got people who are business people, casual people, corporate people, and they don't show up with these games that are meaningless. So on an Easter Sunday, when the Bruins are going to break a record, I guess a bunch of yahoos from Boston drive down and take it over. I mean, this is what they've built. I mean, I'm thinking, for me, you and I are similar age. The Bullies are kind of a blur for me.
Right.
My first huge day with them was like the J.J. Daniel game. That series with Edmonton. My house is packed with people.
From the Point, man. I was in high school. I was working at the Spectrum.
Yeah, and like we would play street hockey. You know, we were the Rat Kenny Lisbon, Flocky Hockey, the Taka Zezel days. But it just feels like the franchise almost died on May 26, 2000. Scott Stevens, Clobbers, Lindros, and they just have never had a plan since that, it feels like.
Yeah.
They had a couple of runs, 2004.
I mean, but listen, you did have some core, right? Like, so I agree with you. That was a huge blow in the history of the organization. But they were good throughout the 20, up and leading up until the Blackhawks series.
I mean, they were good, but they never. Like 2004, they go to conference finals. They lose to Tampa, but they got Robert Ashe and Jeff Hackett as their goalies. You know that's not going to win a cup. And
that was always the white whale, right? That was Ed Snyder's white whale. But at least you knew that Ed Snyder was always there. Now, when the NHL adopts a cap, that changes things, and that really hurt the Flyers more than anybody else because Ed did whatever he could for that team.
He was always paying dudes. It was at least like 3 years past what he should have, but he'd overpay him. Like that was it 2004 when he put together the 94 Blackhawks with Roenick and Amante trying to
Tony Amante. Yeah, exactly. But like I look at it now and I go,
2010 they got that meme with Michael Layton with a beach ball behind.
Yes.
So good.
I mean, seriously.
To the point where.
But now it's a decade. It's a decade. The young Giroux and the shift has turned into a decade of a waste.
Wasted Giroux. And it is. We have to keep harping. It's these three old heads and their reliance on Clark, Barber, and Holmgren. They're out of touch. They've never won anything in the front. They're great players in their own right, but as front office,
I love them. I do. I love them. You want to call them the wise men, and I love them. I love those guys, but they need new direction.
Totally new direction. And I don't know about bringing a corporate guy in who happens to be a Flyers fan is where they need to go. It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't. Listen, Dan looks like seems like a great guy, and he's a Philadelphian, and I want to have a beer with him any day of the week. But I mean, seriously, what's he going to do? He's already talking about getting a search firm that Billy King works for. Hey, man, I mean, come on, an executive search firm. And the bottom line is, and this just transcends all that. You know what it is? A corporation can't own a sports team.
Absolutely not.
You need an individual.
No vested interest.
Right, you need an individual who can nurture them. You can't nurture a sports team when you got to deal with a board and shareholders and stock prices.
Absolutely correct. They need a rich maniac who wants to win.
Listen, I gave you David, David Edelman, who is trying to build the arena in Center City, which I love. He's a Philly kid. He grew up here. He cares for it. That's all I care about. He cares about the city. He's not looking to go anywhere else. He wants the city to prosper, and that's the kind of guy who would be perfect to own the Flyers.
Agree. They need that kind of jam, but like a senior ownership level. And
look at Jeffrey Lurie. Like Jeffrey Lurie's taking. He's going to look at quarterbacks when they needed a quarterback. He was in North Dakota to look at Wentz. Right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the greatest example.
But my point is that he's got his arms around the franchise. He can look what he's. By the way, look. He goes and he's involved in every coaching hire, and he's gotten them right.
Yeah, and he does. He comes out once a year and answers some questions. But
my point is that you need a singular entity, right? Where you have one guy with a couple partners or whatever how you want to do it. Structure it.
These multiple governors aren't working for you. The assistant governor and the head governor, whatever the hell that is.
I know
what that means.
I get it.
I want to be optimistic, but Danny Briere, he's nice, but this is a major project to take on, and I don't know if he's ready for this right now. I'd rather have someone in there with a little bit of history.
I look at this year was a disaster, but the one year where you have talent at the end of the draft, and you completely blow the whole year. One mistake after another.
If you draft articles, there's 5 players. There's the top, Bedard's the best, but there's 5 players that they say are like NHL All-Stars. They should be. And we're going to finish like 7th. Of course. I
know. I hear you, buddy. You're the best.
Oilers.
Like, thanks, VG. Oh, man, VG. I was telling him he does his Canadian playoff team to give himself an interest. And I was telling the story last week about where I was playing NHL 23 with Massimo, and Massimo goes, I said, who you want to be? You want to be the Flyers? He went, no, Daddy, they stink. I'm going to be my favorite team. He goes, I'm going to be the Oilers. And Connor McDavid. I go, dude, I had to stop the game. I had to sit down, talk to him about, fandom and how we're Flyers to the death.
The 5 for 5 talk.
Yes. And I blame them for forcing my kid to have a wandering eye that I had to stop him. Like, come on, man. It's too long. Tommy, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tom.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, Tom. What's going on, bud?
Not much. I was going to talk about the Sixers, but the Flyers thing, man. I just want to get on that a little bit, too. Like last night, throwing the hats on the ice with a hat trick of an opponent. That's a disgrace.
Yeah,
that right there tells you all you need to know.
It's our ice.
Littered with Bruins hats. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That whole it's like it's up to the Flyers to be a month behind tanking, like when they should have been doing it in January. They decided to do it in March. And now you're going to
should have did it going into the season.
Yeah, the whole season exactly. Carter.
Listen. I know they were talking about Johnny Hockey and. People were, Chulis was like, they shouldn't have. No, Johnny Hockey, no. Tortorella, no. Yeah, Tony Dean, no. They should have been bare bones.
Right. That coach knows nothing about tanking. He's going to get the most out of them players.
He's a competitor, that guy. He's a winner.
Exactly. And also, I'm going to give you my 64 bad guy.
Yeah.
Badass.
Badass all the fathers.
Yeah, Javier Bardem from what's that movie he's in?
Javier Bardem from
dude, it's that movie. No Country for Old Men.
Oh yes,
dude, he scares. He makes.
Oh my God, yes.
He makes a grown man cry, man.
Dude,
that's the number 1 overall.
Dude, he's frightening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that gun he has with that thing on it.
Dude, his face too, like he's just chilling. Oh my God, yes.
That might be the number 1 overall seed right there.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
you're right on, brother.
That's my guy right there, man. I watched that the first time. couple
All
years
right, that's
ago.
a good one.
Like, oh my
That's
God.
a great one, brother. Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah,
Be careful on the route.
You
Tommy
got
the
it.
Postman. Thanks, buddy. Damn, man. Javier Bardem. Oof. Let's go to Mike in Delran. Michael.
Yo, what's up, cuz?
What's happening, Mikey?
Yo, did Chunas ever send you the video to stand up?
No.
Remember I came, you guys were at Park.
Yeah. Well, I put you on. I mean, you did a little on the air on our
I told him
show.
to send you the YouTube video. I didn't know how else to get it to you.
Oh, damn. How'd it go?
I thought it went great. I got a lot of positive feedback. I had a Trey message me, said he saw it. It was pretty good. I had a good time because I'm gonna have to send it. I'll have to figure out how to get it to you so you can watch it.
You like it, huh? You got the bug?
Yeah, a little bit. It felt natural, man. So, with my kind of family, I got never-ending material. You know what I mean? So, something. Yeah. But listen, I was listening to you and VG talk about that stuff the other week, and I love VG, but man, I can't get on board with the spite team, man. And if I did, I don't know if I would say it out loud. You know what I mean? Like I could. I was listening to you guys talk about it. I know it's just picking a team from Canada, but I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like a spike team either.
Yeah, I can't do it. I mean,
as much as. And here's my son. There's Massimo.
Right.
There's my Massimo talking about how he's rooting for Edmonton. We're for Edmonton. Right?
Flyers suck, Dad.
What, do you live in Alberta?
Say that. Listen, I want to nominate somebody for the 64, and I know this guy's probably different from a lot of them, but Quint from Jaws.
Wow. That's actually a great one.
Remember, he comes in with the green chalkboard. He scratches the board. Everybody turns around. He's got so many good quotes, man. He's just a badass dude. I mean, I think Quint from Jaws, he should get a nod to the 64.
Oh, listen, you're right. I think that's a great one. It really is. He shows the scars.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He tells.
He was in World War II.
He says, you go in cage goes in water, sharks in water.
Sharks in the water.
Yeah. I think he might not be number one seed, but I think he can upset some people. I'm going Quint with Jaws. Go Birds.
I like it. Go Birds. That's actually a great.
That's a good one. It's a good poll right there.
You should come back with a quote.
Find you. All right.
You should get it. We do the one where the U.S. has Indianapolis.
I got you.
Where do you go? 120 men going to water. He talks about the message he gives you. Here's my friend from Toledo, baseball player. I thought he was just sleeping, and he was bobbing in the water. Shark cut him in half, bit him in half. That's a good one. I didn't think about that.
I like it as a double-digit seed. Upsets some people.
Right. Like he's a war hero. He's a shark fighter. I mean, and he's a human.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no superhero there. It's Quint. I think that's pretty good.
I like it. That's a good poll there.
All right. We got some more I'll share coming up. And then we'll get to everybody's call, 610-632-0975, 610-632-0975. So we're calling. So Chunas is off today, and man, Ray's in. Now, Jared from Omaha, who's a great listener, great 4-4 guy.
What's up, Jared?
He dubs Ray Dick Dunn. Because Chunas is Dick Chunas, and now Dick Dunn is a character from the movie Slapshot. See, everything's is interconnected and related. And Dickie Dunn was the reporter in the movie Slapshot.
Dickie Dunn?
Dickie Dunn.
If Dickie Dunn.
Yeah, Dickie Dunn wrote this.
And that's your alter ego.
This is it, guys.
I'm going done.
Gonna become a hockey writer after tonight.
You are. It's perfect, man. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. It's Cuz Radio with Dick Dunn. That's right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. Listen.
best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right. Busy week for us. Looking forward to it. We got our schedule. It's going to be fun. We're going to be on the road. And tomorrow, very excited because things are coming together. Chickies and Pete's, South Philly tomorrow. Flyers Town Hall. All right? Let's hang out and let's discuss what to do. Listen, we got some bright hockey minds in this area. And we got great Flyers fans in this area. And you need to be heard. And tomorrow, you will be heard. And we're going to be doing the Flyers Town Hall at Chickies and Pete's, South Philadelphia. And we're looking forward to that tomorrow. I'm going to get some tickets. So tomorrow night, we can all go to the game and really express our displeasure at what's been happening this year. I mean, it's been awful. Tomorrow night's the last home game. It's a symbolic gesture. We'll do that. On Wednesday, we'll be at the South Philly Racing Sportsbook. On Thursday, McGillen's Old Ale House, as you know, for our Sixers playoff, our whole Sixer playoff rally. It's going to be fun. Pep, we're going to have a round table. Bobby C. I was just talking to Bobby C. He's fired up. Devon, Tyrone. So we're going to have a great time. All of us talking hoop. And then Friday, our usual spot, Chickies, the Parks Racing Sportsbook, inside Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. So, Ray, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. I'm going to make my way down to at least one of those to say hello and enjoy. You're in my favorite spots. You got Chickies and Pete's in South Philly. You got McGillen's. I mean, number of times that I've entered one of those places in a given month is it's a solid amount being a kid that lives in the city. So I'm excited for what you guys got on tap.
McGillen's a good spot.
Oh, I love McGillen's.
A really good spot.
A lot of fun there. We'll leave it at a lot of fun.
I got to tell you, I love this, that Quint for the field of 64. Quint from
The
Jaws.
real solid pick.
I like that.
We're working on reopening the vault, try and find some Jaws audio for you. But
I just want to hear that.
Protected there.
I just want to hear that one. Listen, if anybody gets in the vault, it's you.
Yeah. All right, listen.
You roll your sleeves up and you're in that vault.
Right. You don't get in only so many times. You got to find everything and run out quick before Dick Junis comes rolling in. And then, oh, no, you're going to lose access real quick.
610-632-0975. Will, my man, Will from Brookhaven. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, Will.
Yo, hold on.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's happening, pal?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I was just calling
we got a little Sixer action?
No, I'm talking about. Well, I didn't talk about the Sixers, but the Flyers and Dan Hilferty. He used to be the CEO of Blue Cross, and I used to work with the guy back.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me that before.
Yeah, I got hired in 2009 and got let go in 2016. Then I work for the authority now, transit acceptor. So Dan Hilferty, he's a cool guy, man. I mean, he got ducats. He got money. Beyond money, so if he owner of the Flyers, you gotta give him a chance.
Well, he's not the owner; he's the CEO for Comcast. Comcast owns the team.
Yeah, but
he's the CEO. He's the steward.
Yeah, he's a suit man. I mean, he's going to put people around to make the team. But he is a sports fan, and he's a sports.
Yeah, I mean that's all well good. He seems like a great dude, and a Philly guy, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, still a corporation, and to me, that doesn't jive for me. I've seen enough of Comcast as a corporation, and I love Comcast. I'm still one of the people that have Comcast cable. All right? Right. I love Comcast. Philadelphia company. I'm proud. I love the Roberts family. I'm proud of them.
Right.
They don't need to own the Flyers. They need to do what's right for the Flyers and sell the team. Now, I know they say they're not going to sell it, but a corporation should never. It's antithetical to a sports franchise to have a corporation that has to deal with stock prices and bottom line and shareholders and board members to own a franchise?
Well, you know what it's about, though. I mean, it always comes down to the money. So
yes,
yeah. So I mean, hopefully,
listen, I'll get $10, and you and me, Will, we'll go partners.
Right, I know, right?
I know. I'm shooting off my big mouth, right? Like, you know. Yeah. but no, seriously, this is where you need a wealthy individual to step in and steward and shepherd the team.
Yeah, but I still think they're the Flyers overall in a good spot, even though, you know, if they can lose out and maybe jump up to 6, I mean.
They squandered this year. This year's a mess. I'm sorry, Will.
Yeah,
I think they just squandered it. They couldn't even tank right. I mean, it's a joke.
They should have.
So tell me about the Sixers, because you're a great Sixer man.
Yeah, Joel Embiid's going to get the MVP, man. Definitely, he's going to win MVP. He's going to win MVP. Sixers going to get out the first round. Second round with Boston, it's going to be a dogfight. I can see it going to all 7, and hopefully the Sixers can pull it out. If it goes 7, I like our chances.
Man, I would love to see that. Can we get this, Will? This has got to be the year, right? 5 years of banging our head in the second round of climbing the mountain only to tumble down, right, in a heap of dust and broken bones.
I've been hurting, man. My heart been hurting, man. And I love basketball, man.
I know you do. I know you do. You're a great Sixer man. So this is it, brother. Come on, this is it. Will it? All right?
I'm telling you, Ian, if it goes 7, Sixers are pulling it out in 7.
I love it. That's why you're the man, Will. Thanks, brother. Yeah. Oh, well, darn. We lost him. Will needs to will it. I need to will that to happen.
We all just got to start speaking it into existence.
Yes.
Speak it into your minds.
Boston.
Believe it.
I freaking hate Boston. I'm sorry, right? Like, listen, it's a great city of ours. Like Boston, Philadelphia are cousins. We go back. I mean, it's Pilgrims and the Quakers, right? Like, we go back in the day. Back in the day. I mean, we go back.
Absolutely.
Right to the beginning of this country. But when it comes to sports, I'm jealous, right?
How could you not be?
All the success that they have. I hate the Celtics. I hate the color green. I hate the Bruins, all right? I hate the Patriots. Hate it. Hate them all. The Red Sox. They've had all the success that we haven't. Dick Dunn.
They were cursed for 100 years and have more World Series in the last 20 than the Phillies have in their existence.
I mean, seriously. It's just a disaster. When we compared to us, like the Patriots. And look
frustrating.
Look at this year that the Bruins are having. I can't
Unreal.
stand them. I can't stand them.
One of my best friends from college is a Boston guy. I can't do it. I can't do another Celtics win. I can't take it. I won't be able to live with it.
I respect them. It's a great sports town.
Oh, it is.
It's a great city. But, listen, I'm jealous. Can't lie. I'm a jealous man. Tommy, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, Tom.
Yo, cuz, how we doing?
What's up, my brother?
I want to revisit a conversation you and the Tunis had last week in regards to Iron Man v. Batman.
Yes.
So I think though if Batman is good enough to make the list, I feel as though Iron Man should make it as well. And I have a couple of arguments that I would like to run by you.
Well, let me know, because I'm a fan of Iron Man.
And I know you are, and I know two not, but, I feel like the similarities between the two are, uncanny. Obviously, both take over their fathers, Fortune 500 companies, have to deal with the turmoil of losing both of their fathers. And in terms of not superpower, but obviously Batman's better off with the hand-on-hand combat. But I don't think you can penalize Iron Man for his intellectual, his smarts.
Yes,
he developed the AI that Chunas kind of null and voided, and I feel as though that's not a superpower. He's just a brilliant dude. Obviously, with Batman, his sidekick was Robin, and they had 3 of them. So he obviously doesn't play well with others. So I feel like that's got to be on him. And let's look at the name Robin. Like, that's not BA, material. Now, if you look at Iron Man, his sidekick was War Machine or Iron Patriot. Far superior than the Robin moniker. So I just feel as though if Batman's going to make the list, Iron Man should very easily make it.
Chunas' issue was, if Iron Man's on the list, Iron Man is unbeatable because of the technology.
Well, at the end of the Dark Knight, Batman was using similar technology when he kind of programmed and used everyone's cell phones to, track down where the Joker was at.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Listen, I agree that Iron Man's superior intellect to Batman. I mean, quite frankly, I think Batman's half an empty suit.
Right, exactly. So that was just kind of my argument for Iron Man.
It's a great argument. We might have to make a ruling either both in or both out.
And that's kind of where I stand. But for my for the guy I want to vote on the list, I would go with Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, let's huge motivator. He gets the people going. Let's not forget, if we have a company softball team, he spent some time with the Cardinals in their organization, so he can hit bombs, as well as I think he was a pitcher for them. So it's a good resource to have. But outside of that, that's all I have for today.
I like it, man. I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed. You put a great argument up there.
So,
you really did. Excellent job, buddy.
So I'll be in touch. Good talking to you guys.
All right, buddy. You too, brother. I got to tell you, I thought that was an excellent argument, Dick Dunn.
Well done. It was well done right there by Tommy. He laid it out. I mean, that could be an open.
Now, where do you stand when it comes with this battle? Now, Chunas is anti-Iron Man. He's a Batman guy.
I don't get why you come down anti-Iron Man. I agree with him, and it should not be held against him that he's bright enough to protect himself on that one. And the whole persona of Iron Man, I think that's you got a BA right there. I think that's a guy I want on the list. I'm coming down with this side of Iron Man here. I think Dick Chunas is out of his mind.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, and now the issue is, because of the rule, you got to be human. Now, what does that say? The technology that Iron Man develops. I mean, the suit that the AI. I mean, it makes him unbeatable. So
reward the brains.
Should he be allowed in? Has been the question.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going just based on physical strength here. If we're not giving him the points with the brains here.
Right. No, that's a good point.
I think Tommy convinced me.
All right. We might have to go both in or both out.
I think that's going to end up being the ruling. You're going to have to decide whether both are in or both are out. Which, will you be able to get Chunas to make the concession to allow Iron Man in? Because if he's a big Batman guy...
Well, we might have to be, again, both in, both out. Either, that's the rule.
Well, he was making the case for Batman. So if he's making the case for, and you make that ruling, both in, both out, can he make the concession?
Yeah.
Will he be allowed to? And what about the rest of the committee?
Yeah.
Gotta let the people in. It's tough. It's a tough decision to make. But that's
why we need I need as many as possible. We have to come up with the field. All right. It's a big deal to come up with this field. I want to make sure we get it right. Bad mother father. Ray, let's go to Grant in Norristown. Grant, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, Grant.
I have cancer and I'm dying. But other than that, I want to talk about the Eagles draft because I think we should draft cornerbacks instead of defensive linemen. I like the 2 cornerbacks from Maryland because they're fast. And if we don't do that, I want to trade with the Dolphins somehow.
I missed you. What did you say?
I want to trade with the Dolphins, or I want to draft the 2 cornerbacks from Maryland, the fast ones.
You want the corners
from Maryland, Maryland University.
I mean, the only thing is if Jalen Carter's there, do you want to go with Jalen or no?
No, because he's trouble.
Well, I mean, you don't know that. Well, I mean, again, he could be. So who do you want to take? You want the kid from Maryland? Or the kid from Oregon, Gonzalez, who's actually really good? I don't know if he'll be there.
I want both cornerbacks from Maryland.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy. Oof. Yeah, I missed the beginning of that, which was, and he's talking about Deonte Banks, which is, again, you might be able to get up and get him late in the first round. He's probably going to go somewhere in the early 20s. So you could either trade back, which is a possibility. My home run for the draft is Bijan. I want some Bijan, man.
Oh, boy.
I want Bijan, buddy. To me, again, it's the perfect time to go running back.
Well, you got the rest of the offense set. You feel good about what they could do. You all in, push the chips all in offensively.
Well, look, you control. Listen, I'm a big believer in you can't build a team around a running back. So,
right,
taking Zeke was a huge mistake by the Cowboys. Right, taking running backs in the top 5, it's not 1987, so it's never a good idea. But when you're sitting there with where the Eagles are, and I mean, I wouldn't take him at 10. I would trade back. But when you're sitting where the Eagles are and you can maneuver, with 2 picks in and around the first round, I just think it makes perfect sense to go after Bijan Robinson. He's a 3-down back. You take him in the first round, you're going to control him for 5 years. That's basically the lifespan of an NFL back. So fiscally, right, like it makes sense from that standpoint that you're going to use the draft capital and you'll control your costs at running back. And look at what you're going to have. You're going to have a playmaker. You're going to have a guy that can block. He's really good at picking up the blitz. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And he's the perfect complement to Jalen right now. The perfect compliment. I mean, think about this, Dick Dunn. You got a guy that you want to make sure you're protecting Hurts. You're going to be paying Hurts a lot of money. You want to protect him. You don't want to run him as much. You're still going to run some of the RPRs and RPO stuff because it just makes that offense that much more ridiculous. But you got 2 great receivers. You got a tight end. And to be able to have a running back that you can count on. And look, I mean, I know they got Penny. He's been hurt every year. And as a complimentary guy or whatever, it's fine. But you give me Bijan Robinson, I just think it makes perfect sense.
I'm just tough on spending the capital that high. And I get what you're saying, where you're lined up where you are at as an organization, and you have this pick, and you can make the splash of having Bijan Robinson. I like the ability for them to build with what they've been good at building with, and taking something on the line, taking something where they're going to be able to turn that player into a bigger piece of what they do for a longer than 5 years. And plus, looking at just next year's running back free agency class, I think someone's going to be willing to deal it back to you at some point.
Yeah, but free agent, you don't want free agent.
No, you don't want free agent. I'm telling you, there's going to be a possibility early next season where there's a back in a situation where a team wants to move off him. You'll be able to get him cheaper than a first-round pick for
who do you
running
want?
Back.
Who do you want? Now, you're going to tell me Jalen Carter's there, you're going to stay at 10 and draft Jalen Carter.
Yeah, if Jalen Carter's there, I'm going picking Jalen Carter.
Right, so Jalen Carter's not there. You're the Eagles. What are you going to do?
And it's Bijan. Is there anything
Well,
what else you give me there?
Like my idea is to trade back, and I'll be able to take Bijan and another play. You want a corner?
If you want to trade back,
you want
do that.
Deontay Banks? Then, yeah.
If you could trade back, I can deal with the idea the trade back, get Bijan, get extra assets. You just look at what's coming up the line next year for guys that might be available. You look at guys who got tagged this year, who would be, if they're not, their team doesn't look like they're going to succeed. You could go after them. You look at
who?
The Pollards of the world, Barkley. Now you're not trading in division, but you're looking at Jacobs. Jacobs.
No.
Well, if Jacobs, if their team's not
Jacobs
good,
is cooked. You know what? The last thing you want to do is go after an old back that's been.
Well, it's not for a long-term deal. It's you get them if they're going to trade them before the deadline. That's where I'm looking at, where they were able to get Ajayi in 2017.
Yeah, no, I completely disagree with
All
that
right.
strategy.
Hey, that's fine.
You're getting a fresh stud back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, that's a great runner, and that can pick up a blitz. You're not going to go after a guy who is at the last leg of his career.
I'm not telling you I'm going after him long term. I'm telling you you're going after him to add him to the team.
Yeah, but again, you have a window of 5 years right now that you can win it, and you're going to get a legitimate back that's a weapon.
I just don't think you invest that capital. You have the potential at that pick to get a top end talent. At 10, you're going to be paying him more than already what the average running back for
you're
a
not
Super Bowl winning team.
I keep saying you're going to trade back. And
so
you just got to make sure that the Chargers are at 21, right?
Right.
You got to make sure that you deal and get a pick somewhere in the late teens.
If you get into the late teens and he's sitting there still, then you got me. At 10, so I think we're on the same page right here, but the way we're going about it is different. 10's too high for me. I can't put the spending there at 10. But I see what you're saying. If you can move back and you feel comfortable about his ability to be there, again,
I think you might want to just revisit the one thing, because I think you're undervaluing what he adds to an already good offense. I mean, to get a top flight back, like what, you don't want to cheap out on your running back. Like, I understand the last couple of years they go committee because they have such a great offensive line. Now, put a legitimate weapon at back next to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert with that line. With Hurts' ability to move and get the ball down the field? Who's stopping that offense? Sure, how do you stop it?
I mean, they were pretty close to untouchable last year, so you're adding to that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand the appeal of not being able to stop them. I think
can't stop that. You can't stop me.
Be exciting. Listen, I'm not going to sit here if Bijan Robinson ends up an Eagle and be sitting here complaining and whining. It's just the way, if I was building, it's not the way I would build. You're going to get a top end. If you get him, you have a top end back. And
remember one thing. Like, the only thing I will disagree with you is the fact that after 10, remember, there's only, if you look at this this draft, because the quarterbacks may push some of the transcendent talent down, but there's only 8 players that are really worth that pick at 10. Like, a lot of those guys we're talking about, some of the corners and all, I mean, they're all grouped in that certain spot. Whereas the true value is a guy like Robinson, who's actually put it this way. I tell you about my I love this website, the 33rd It's
yes, very good.
It's a great website, right? They have Bijan ranked on their big board at, I'll tell you exactly, number 6. That he's the 6th best player. Broderick Jones, you know what? I'll do it on the other side, and I'll continue to make the argument. It's a good debate, though. It is. As we sit here, one more segment to go. Man, this show's flying by. 610-632-0975, 610-632-0975. It's Cuz Radio with my man, yes, Dick Dunn.
Dickie Dunn?
Dickie Dunn.
Let me tell you about Daniel's Plumbing. Look, see these rainstorms and see all this stuff, the flooding, and you got to have a great plumber at your disposal. And I have one. His name is Danny. He started Daniel's Plumbing. They are the #1 plumbing contractor in all of the land. And here's the deal. You're selling a home. Did you know that Bucks County, Montgomery County, Chester County, a lot of counties across the region, they require sewer lateral inspections to sell or rent homes. So Daniel's Plumbing can perform this service within 24 hours of an initial call. They're going to handle all the paperwork. They'll send video to the township, and the inventors in it with the lateral line, they're going to excavate and repair or replace the drain line. They're going to get you to settlement on time. All right? They're licensed in all townships. They're equipped with the best camera equipment on the market so they can see if there's anything wrong with your drain line. I mean, it's the same thing with, you're living in an area where there's flooding and all that stuff.
LG Smart TV weighs and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, 124 across the Delaware Valley. Cuz Radio. Tune us off today. Dick Dunn in for the
yeah, Dickie Dunn roast. Yeah.
That's it. A couple of things. I got to ask you a question.
Of course.
What's the ruling on a TV spoiler?
Anti, always. I didn't log on to Twitter at all last night because I knew people would be watching Succession.
Right.
I didn't watch, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know. If you know, shouldn't. Don't tell me.
Well, and I agree. And so, like, to me, you can't, you got to save yourself and not do social media, because I see a lot of people complaining. It could be any show, all right? Now, it just so happens that you and I were kind of talking about, you brought up the thing that precipitated the conversation. I'm trying to talk about it in more generalities. But if you like a show, the shelf life, you can't bring it up for at least a couple weeks, right? You got to give people a chance to see it.
Oh, 1,000%. You can. And honestly, now, with the way people like to binge stuff, like they like to wait and then get all the way through, might even be a little longer than that.
I know. And it's weird because it's a shame, because it does take away a little bit of the communal chatter. You know, years ago when The Sopranos was on, we would actually talk about it the next day.
Right.
And because it was a shared experience for a lot of people, it was fun. Like, and I did the same thing with Game of Thrones.
Well, it's that thing where it's next time you see someone that watches, you're going to have, can you believe, or what would you thought of that? Like, it was a nice, easy conversation. It's one of those nice small talk conversations where you see someone you have a really good shared interest. Kind of like you see the game last night.
Like, you know what's funny? I so badly wanted to talk about a TV show and what transpired, but I can't.
No.
Because you can't have that conversation.
Because
and I don't know when I don't know when you could even do it without, because the last thing I would ever want to be is a rat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy. People avoid that guy.
Right. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a rat and ruin, like, I love what part of my mantra is, making everything joyful and fun for people, that they have enough stresses and headaches during the course of a day.
Exactly. You don't want to add more to that.
I don't want to. Right. I don't want to ruin fun for them. But man, the only thing about the binge piece is I missed the day where you could actually talk about stuff.
Oh, 100%. Even though I don't think I ever really lived in that, it would be cool to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like you kind of have to be on the same level of show watching with someone. You can only share it with this select few people, and then even there, you're still walking on eggshells of, all right, you sure
Right.
Do you know? What episode did you watch? I think I watched season 2 episode.
Right, like you can't
7.
Right, you go, what are you up to? And like there's like so many shows that you would love to just, but in the era you don't know who's what.
And you don't want to ruin someone's binge on that.
Nah.
That's a real big strike against you.
It is. I mean, that's being a rat.
It is.
All right. Let's go to Nikki. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nikki.
Gentlemen, how we doing, fellas?
What's up, Nick?
Not much, man. Not much. Listen, this morning when you were going through the Sixers 5-year heartbreak, luckily I couldn't find a bar open in Jersey at 11:15 whenever you were doing that. because I probably would have done like a triple shot of tequila or something. That was, and then it was like the poppy seed. That was ridiculous. The poppy seed infection. That wasn't poppy. What seed was it? That Matisse was not Matisse. Zaire. Zaire was allergic to.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's just insane, man.
Yes. I mean, you think about that mistake, and listen, Brett was such a nice man, but that mistake has hurt. We're looking at Sixers Nets first round, and we're looking at Bridges, who's just blossomed into being such a great player, and he's the perfect thing that they've missed for all these years, the perfect wing that they've missed, and they had drafted him. And then they traded him. Oh.
He was in a jersey. He was in a Sixers jersey.
No, it's just amazing. His mom worked for the team.
Yeah.
His mom worked for the team. His cousin is a great man who works for the station.
His cousin is a great man who you love talking ball with, man.
Like, how could – seriously, I never forget. I go, yeah, great pick. What? Like, they traded – I remember going, what are you, crazy? And I kept texting people like, no, don't do that.
Well, I said when they drafted Markel Futz, and they swapped around and they traded picks with Boston. I said my only complaint that starting that year was you needed a 2, 3, 4. You had a 1 and a 5 because you had Ben here. Okay. Oh my God, I said his name. I meant 2, 5. You had 2, 5 here as your 1, and you had Joel here as your 5. You needed a 2, a 3, and a 4 to fill in that roster. So why move around? And you brought in Mikel, well, who probably could play he's a swing player. He could play a little 3. He could play a little 4. It was perfect. Like, why? He could play a little 2 as he developed.
Dude, wing. They got no wings. It's like the wing shortage. You get nothing but thighs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you messed up with giving away picks to get him, and you messed up by having a guy wear a jersey, and you said you peeled it off his skin, and you sent it to the dry cleaners because you thought he infected it.
And the Jimmy
and then
problem.
The Jimmy thing, and then you had a guy you wanted, a skill set that you needed, and you said, no, we're going to stick with the coach, man. And at that point, you might just say, screw it, man. Why stick with the coach?
I know.
Because at that point, I think the higher-ups knew that 2-5 was a problem. So at that point, get rid of every connection he had to the organization and show him some tough love and go, this is what we're at. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of 2-5, you brought this up. If he was in Brooklyn, okay, and that report came out that he faked the COVID infection and so he could get out of a game in Brooklyn last year, you think it would have been covered? Like for 9
I know. Listen, it would have been back page of the New York Post.
Right. We're Philistines. We're troglodytes. Because we brought that up.
I know. I hear you. Hey, real quick, because you're a TV man, what's the ruling? Like, what do you do in this day and age?
You know what? That was a great point you guys brought up. I love the binge. Like, I love if I got a couple extra hours and you put a nice little cliffhanger on episode 2 and I jump into episode 3 before, and then go to bed. But what I do miss is, like, the talk. The week-to-week talk.
The water cooler talk. I mean, I know there's no such thing as a water cooler, but you get my point.
No. But what about, like, season 1 True Detective when that first came out? The only decent True Detective was season 1. Like,
we talked about it all every week.
Every week,
that would come
every
up.
Day.
All right.
Hey, what does that mean? What was that? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, and that is the miss. That is like the one thing that you miss when you have these really good puzzle box shows that you can't. Now, I'll control myself a little bit. I've gotten to the age where I don't have to do shots anymore, and I can control myself a little bit of TV because I like the podcast TV guys to have them talk about puzzle box shows and what do you think's going to happen. So, but Flyers, oh my God, the 1 year you had to tank, the 1 year they set themselves back 3 more years now. Come on, boys.
And that's if get it right, which I don't even think they can get it right.
And then you got to hope that you have some management that understands, and you got to hope the draft that year has what you need. Like, has literally what you need. Because every
I can't
time they
take
had
it
a high
anymore.
pick,
Just the ineptitude is over and over and over again. It's
if you roll
just
the
a
dice
flogging.
200 times, if you roll the dice 5 times the last 5 years, the dice would have gave you better picks than what the Flyers are doing.
I know.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. I'm coming down to the Pete's, man.
Come down, man. Come down.
Coming down.
Flyers Town Hall, man. Thank you,
Town
brother.
Hall in it, man. The pitchfork or what do you need? What do you need from me? The pitchfork?
Maybe
you need
a torch.
You need a torch, whatever. You need tar? What do you need?
We may need a torch. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, Nikki. Because I think we may have to storm the gates.
Going after the Wells Fargo Center?
I mean, just that torch. And we may need torches. Maybe a pitchfork.
You talked about the parade, the season-end parade.
This is it.
This is it?
This is the parade.
We're going to throw the parade, 5th most improved team.
Bulls on parade. When Chuck Fletcher goes, yes, we're one of the improved teams. What? Oh, my God.
There's a lot of room to go up.
Listen, I love Tortorella. This was not the job for him. Not this year. If anything, they should have hired Brett Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Brett. You ready for another tank job? We still got a room for you at Wells Fargo Center. You want your office back?
Yeah.
You want me to give you something to cheer you up a little bit?
Yeah, what do you got?
I got some fun. You watched the Masters this weekend?
I did. Rahm. I'm a John Rahm fan.
Well, that's good because this brings in John Rahm, and I'm not doing my job because I got to fill in and play the role of Chunas. I'm not playing the role of Chunas if I don't somehow work Zach Ertz into the conversation at all. Did you happen to see this?
No.
John Rahm talking after the Masters about a text he received from one Zach Ertz.
For those people who believe in jinxing other players, people, and whatever it may be, Thursday morning, I was getting on the golf cart to get to this putting green 10 minutes before my tee time. I saw a text from a good friend of mine, and I'm going to name him because he is a Super Bowl winning champion, Zach Ertz. He said the text, I'm going to paraphrase here, but he said, that first green looking like a walk in the park or something like that right now. 10 minutes before I 4-putted to start the tournament. So, thank you, Zach. Don't ever do that again, please.
Oh, that's fabulous. That is awesome.
So how about it? That nice little clean the palate there, just think about good times with Zach Ertz and John Rahm and Zach Ertz being friends. I didn't realize that was a thing. I don't know if that was.
I did not know that either.
I didn't know if that was like a well-documented thing.
I didn't know. I didn't know that those two were. I didn't know they were boys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can only imagine golfing with the guy that won the Masters. Like how outmatched must Zach Ertz be in that situation?
Yeah, that's wild.
Super Bowl champ, but I can't imagine he's holding his own with John Rahm.
I love Rahm. Rahm's cool.
Yeah, most certainly.
The Spaniard.
It's nice, the parody that golf has now.
Oh, Spaniard.
You see guys.
Did you see Gladiator?
No. It's a big miss on my part.
You never saw Gladiator?
No.
Dude, really?
I told you. I'm not as bad as Chunas, but I got some blind spots here.
Gladiator, it holds up.
Well, if it holds up, then it sounds like a great thing for me to go watch. I'll come back. I'll give you the book report, the movie report.
Just look up the Maximus speech.
All right, we'll do.
In fact, you should play that one.
All right,
you play that.
Trying to break back into the vault.
Yeah, break back into the vault. Come on, man. You're like Clive Owen. Go break back into the vault and get the speech he says when he takes so the antagonist, right? The emperor, who's the son of the emperor that loved Maximus, right?
Right.
He takes over and he goes, when he said, "Take your mask off, slave. Take your mask off." And then and Maximus turns his back to him.
Oh.
Yes.
Bold.
And then he takes his mask off and he faces him. And he got to play it.
Gotta get the
Go
speech.
Get the speech.
All right.
Get
We'll
it
work
before
on the
we
speech.
leave.
All
Come on,
right.
Dick Dunn.
Trying over here. I'll work.
All right. Who do we got? We got Kareem. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Kareem.
What's going on, Ant? Listen,
Yo, Kareem.
I'm tired of everybody sitting here looking at this NFL draft like we drafting in fantasy football. You get the best player on the board. I don't care at what number, what position that they playing, any of that. Like, if Bijan Robinson is there, you take him because he's going to make your team better. Like, everybody talking about the wide receivers we got, but as a weapon, that's Brian Westbrook 2.0.
I don't understand the mentality, Kareem. Right?
Because
you're gonna get like you're worried about the draft of the position you already got because that's what you do for the future. You come at that offense.
That's because everybody's from the standpoint of looking at it from the standpoint of drafting a running back in fantasy football. This isn't fantasy football. We're talking about people's career and people's profession here. And if I probably would take Robinson over Carter because of problems that Jalen Carter had.
Listen, I hear you. If they wound up taking, and I don't think they will, but even if they took him at 10, I'm with you. Like I'm not upset. Now I think you can trade back and get him. That's probably what I would do. I mean, that's how I would play it. I got to believe Howie's the same way. But you get my point. I feel you, man.
But you can't. It's a matter if you could trade back. If I could trade back 4 places and I could capitalize and get 2 more picks in the process of trading back, then sure. But you don't trade back and then somebody taking 2 picks before you. You don't do that.
I hear. Could you imagine? Right. So imagine that you got Bijan Robinson in this offense, like and then remember at Texas, he was their whole offense. He did everything in Texas.
I heard your coach there today saying we would look how unstoppable we was last year. Miles Sanders is not a Bijan Robinson. When he comes out that backfield and you want to throw those short intermediate passes, or you could go wrong to be, he has better hands. He's a harder runner. It's a no-brainer. You take him, I don't care if it's at 10, if it's at 16, if it's at 21, if it's at 30. If he's available, that's the player you get, and then you try to move to get the next best player on the board by moving up if you have to try to improve the defense.
I hear you, brother. Kareem, you and I see it the same way, my brother.
I appreciate it, Ant-Man. I appreciate it.
My brother, have a great...
And tell your man, learn about that gladiator, man. He got to learn about that gladiator. I'm Maximus Decimus Aurelius. Tell him
Yes, Kareem. Yes. Dick Dunn needs to know gladiator.
Exactly.
Thank you, brother. School that young boy. See, pal. You hear
I'm going to
me,
get on it. I'm going to get on it, Kareem.
You got it?
I'm getting on it. We had to send the gunner in. Little B Gun is trying to break into the vault to get us some Maximus.
Get in there. I need that scene.
We're working here, working around the clock.
You got to be able to get it. You need to know, man. I mean, I can't believe you have never seen Gladiator, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. It's a tough look. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's normal. It's distracted.
Right, so I just got to give this. So when there's the big board and then there's the draft board, right? Like, so the big overall board where guys are just graded. Like, you grade players on what you think matter positions. Because obviously quarterbacks get weighted and certain positions get weighted, right? So this is off the 33rd team, and this is their big board. And I think it's worth pointing out. So their number one player in the draft is Broderick Jones. He's the tackle from Georgia. So he's a left tackle from Georgia, 6'5", 311 beast. Their second player is Quentin Johnson. So Quentin Johnston, who's a receiver out of TCU, is a stud. So you have Quentin Johnston. You have Will Levis, who I'm shocked they have him as the third. They grade him out at the third best player. Surprise. Jalen Carter is 4. Like, ridiculous, right? So that's why at 10, Carter, now we'll see about the issues and shape and everything else. But they have Carter as the 4th player. At 5, they have Will Anderson. So I love Will. He's the edge rusher out of Alabama. Number 6, Bijan Robinson. So number 6 is Bijan. So they have him graded as the 6th overall player on their big board. Ray, thanks to my man Gabriel, I texted you the clip.
Believe we have it. Believe we have it right here. Ready to go.
All right. Well, let me get Uncle Frank up, and then we're going to play the clip. All right?
Sounds good to me.
Uncle Frank, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic, Uncle Frank.
Hey, happy Easter, squad.
Happy, you know what they call it? You know what? In Italy, they call it Pascaletta. It's Little Easter. So the Monday's a holiday there, and they all go around and they hang out all day, drink wine.
By the way, those meatballs, Anthony, looked outrageous.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I made them yesterday.
I know.
I'm telling the audience, yeah.
So, listen, I wasn't going to call him today, but I need to address Dick Dunn. Dick Dunn.
Oh, hey, Uncle Frank. How are you?
Come to the stand.
I'm here. What's up?
My man, Ray, it's a stone cold violation that you haven't seen Gladiator. I'm surprised you even admitted that. Man.
What, am I going to sit here and lie to you? Is that a way for us to build trust here, Uncle Frank? No. I'll tell the truth.
That's a good comeback, buddy boy. All right. I give you an attaboy. Yeah, man. You get on that.
No, Dick's way. I can't believe Dick hasn't seen that.
I had a good 3.5 hours. Hey, we'll work for that last half hour next time.
Yeah, I was going to take today off. I had a call. Oh, listen, guys. Hey, man, I got a good. What do you think of regarding the badasses? Bobby D was a bad mofo in the movie Cape Fear, right? He takes out.
Oh my God! Yeah, Max Cady.
Yes, with chains, and he
Max Cady is a great. You're right. He's a bad mother father.
He's a bad
counselor. Might you be there, counselor? Come out, wherever you are.
And how about the counselor's daughter? Not home.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That's it. That's not good. But anyway.
No,
yeah.
But listen, all right, I'll let somebody else get on. I just had a.
That's fantastic.
My buddy Ray.
You're right on, Uncle Frank. Listen, Uncle Frank. He's a man of wit. He's a man of great knowledge and wisdom.
I'm a life coach, Ray. I'm a life coach.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's Dick Dunn to you, Uncle Frank.
Yeah, Dick Dunn. All right, boys. Thank you,
buddy. All right, I got a couple guys I want to get to, a couple of bad mother fathers, and then you're going to play it.
Gotcha.
All right. So, oh my God, Adam is unbelievable. You ever watch the show Homeland?
This is a tough half hour for me. No, I have not.
So the Quinn, Adam gives me Quinn from Homeland, spot on. He was an amazing, he was like a CIA dude who was awesome. Then you got, Zach is another great one. You ever see the movie Sicario?
Sicario.
Oh my God, no?
Might be a no for me too. I'm struggling with you in this last half hour.
Sicario, Benicio del Toro in the movie Sicario is a great badass. He's nasty.
I'll watch it before we get to the committee meeting.
A drug pin turned like military, He works for the government now. He's unbelievable. Oh, my God, dude. You got a lot of holes in your game.
I told you. I thought we were clear on this one. I've seen, but I have not seen nearly enough.
All right, play the gladiator thing.
Why doesn't the hero reveal himself and tell us all your real name? You do have a name.
My name is Gladiator.
How dare you show your back to me? Slave! Will remove your helmet and tell me your name.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Dude.
That's a BA.
Is what?
A BA. Bad mother father. Yeah, I'm in.
How'd you get BA as a badass?
Yeah.
I got to tell you. That's why you want to see it.
Yeah, well, that's a good trailer for it. That was a good way to get me into it.
That moment is the moment you go, wow. You kidding me? What is your name? And he goes, Gladiator.
It's good.
True servant to the real Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He's telling him, I'm going to have my revenge.
Yeah, I'll have my vengeance.
In this life or the next. Oh, dude, you got to up your game, dude.
All-time line there to guarantee you'll either have vengeance in this life or the next.
Yes.
That's some guts.
Yes. My boy Ray, he hits me with a little Travis Bickle as another badass. You probably didn't see that either.
Yeah,
You're
0 for 3.
Me.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, my God. Dude.
Well, the way you are with comedy, where you're more of a drama guy.
Yeah, but I've still seen the great comedies.
All right, that's fair. You got to give me some life experience on this one.
True. But De Niro in Taxi Driver is Travis Bickle, who is the greatest. When he does that, he's in the mirror going, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
All right. Well, I'm not having the recognition of I'm having recognition of scene. I'm not having recognition of full movie.
All right. Well, you got to. I mean, it's an old movie, but it's
Well, at least know now where you're going.
It's a classic.
Where I would already just having seen that would elevate.
Are you talking to me? Hey, guy looking in the mirror, he's got the gun. Come on, dude. That's ridiculous. He's a bad mother father.
Right.
We're gonna be able to. We have enough, I think. I have a bunch of suggestions.
Yeah, we got a lot
on
today.
Social media, so we'll be able to craft this incredible field of badasses.
It's really going to be a tough debate, Iron or Batman.
Well, they might both be out. I don't know. We're going to see. Hey, so don't forget, tomorrow, here's the week. Tomorrow, we will be at Chickies and Pete's in South Philly, Flyers Town Hall. All right? And we got to discuss the future of this franchise. Save the franchise. Free the Flyers. Wednesday, Parks Racing Sportsbook, South Philly. Thursday, Sixers playoff roundtable at McGillen's. We're going to have Bob Cooney, Devon, and Tyrone. Best show ever, by the way, is coming up next. So that's it. And we're going to do all Sixer playoffs. It's going to be fun on Thursday. And then Friday, Parks Racing Sportsbook in Malvern. So that's our schedule for the week. Let's get nuts. Big week in Philadelphia. Listen, we love you guys. All right? Hang in. Be safe. And we'll see you in the morning.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Tuesday the 9th. I'm Ray Dunn. This update's brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. The Phillies had a chance to sweep the Reds on Sunday, but ran into trouble in the 9th. Sir Anthony Dominguez loaded the bases and allowed a bases-clearing double, giving the Reds a 6-4 lead. The Phillies have a chance to bounce back, starting a home series with the Marlins tonight. The 76ers won their final regular season game on Sunday, beating the Nets 134-105. It was a lot of G-Leaguers and a lot of the guys off the end of the bench getting it done. Mac McClung was one of 3 Sixers to finish with 20 points. It'll be the Sixers and Nets on at 1 o'clock to open up the playoffs. And the Flyers lost 5-3 to the Bruins yesterday. Just 2 more games remain in the season. Keep it locked right here for the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to